rhymes, I'm killing the mic just like I ran into jewels. And y'all gonna get done up front, knowing that kid with an attitude. But you can't really blame this motherfucker, it's the way you have to do dirt. I'm about that cash flipping, I'm getting it on and off the market. Not about that VIP, not me, not never been a fan of clubbing. All about that RIP for all of my Jesus going departed. All about that business, what I started, I'm about that.
Top down, like you're not ready. We ride, we move heavy. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night. Top down, like you're not ready. We ride, we move heavy. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night.
Know that I'm about it. Want it, man, I can bring the drama. But it ain't by chance, I'm fucking rapping. You don't want a problem. Made a little cash in the back end, but still rapping, call me starving. Yeah, y'all ain't gonna ask who the man is. Hope I'm gonna be like, beg your pardon. I'm about that.
Top down, like you're not ready. We ride, we move heavy. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night. Top down, like you're not ready. We ride, we move heavy. So high, we see the whole city. We own the night.
And yes, we do. We own the night, and we own the day too, right here on YSN. This is what happens when you crack a joke right before the intro ends. Hey, welcome along to the. Wait, this is not Running Point. This is not. This is the Power Hour, baby. Welcome to the YSN Power Hour. My name is DJ Yoakley. Across from me, some of my best friends. It is Brendan Miller making a cameo appearance today. Richie Giuliano with the cookie shirt, and you got Giggles McScooter over there. Quinn Pushkar, who almost, he almost completely chucked up his Mountain Dew. Before we get started, Quinn and I had a conversation yesterday about Mountain Dew. They are having this. Maybe it's better that you explain. Explain what they're going through and our goal here.
I don't have a clue what they're doing it for, but they print states and stuff on their labels.
What do you have today?
I've got Oregon today.
All right.
And I drank Idaho this morning, so I'm up to 12 states out of the 50.
He was at 5 yesterday, so do the easy East Palestine math, and Quinn's been chugging.
Nevertheless, you get $100 if you collect them all.
So let's
easy for you.
Let's put a
That's what I
timeout right
said.
there. Let's put a timeout right there. You get $100.
You make $11, $11.50.
Not even.
No, $10.50. You make $10.50 because it's $89.5 to.
So you make $10.50 for basically acquiring diabetes, but there is a caveat because you are now then entered
To win $1 million.
to win $1 million.
Oh, wow.
So here's
All right.
here's what we're gonna do for my buddy Scooter McGiggles over there. Is we are going to, if you're a Mountain Dew drinker, we are going to ask you if you wouldn't mind. We're gonna put it on our social media page. Actually, you know what? Your blog this week is going to be about the Mountain Dew Challenge. And we are going to have people send us the Mountain Dew.
Need the bottle.
We need the bottle,
And
so
the
bring
cap.
it, and the cap, bring it down to YSN, and we're going to have a checklist for Quinn, and every time that he drinks one, we're going to cross it off the list. So if you have that, if you'd like to bring it in, we'd greatly appreciate it, because we want to see how legit this is, and if we can win $1 million, Quinn has decided that he is going to give half of it to YSN. So that'll be $500,000 to YSN, completely tax-free, and in cash format, and all in one.
He's going to bring in 3 duffel bags.
That's
with
okay.
It's going to be half of
$500,000
whatever I
cash.
get.
He's going
Half
to
of whatever you
half,
get.
and we are going to take that, and we are going to go to the moon. We're going to buy a laser, and we're going to shoot the moon, and we're going to own it. So we own the night, as it says in our intro. And when Quinn wins the Mountain Dew $10.50 challenge to win $1 million, we're going to own that too. So, and then Mountain Dew will be an official sponsor of YSN, which will be cool in itself. But we are going to start that after the show today. We will put up the follow Quinn on his Mountain Dew path to diabetes checklist, and we'll go from there. Right now he's got 12, so we're looking for 38 other states. And none of them, I mean, we said yesterday that Ohio should be the easy one. Pennsylvania should
This
be
area should be the
Kentucky,
easiest,
West
yeah.
Virginia. Regardless, if you have them, bring them in. Do not scan them because that will disqualify you. But if you'd like to participate in the challenge, maybe we'll do a little name mark at the bottom.
Alaska and Hawaii, I think, are going to be the hardest.
Okay, so if you have
Which
Alaska
ones do you
and Hawaii.
You said Oregon, Idaho.
Oregon, Idaho, Montana, South Dakota,
Maine, I saw yesterday.
Maine, Massachusetts, Delaware. Can't think of the other ones.
Well, you'll have to tune in to Quinn's blog this week as he talks
Think of
about.
the other ones.
You waited till
gonna
Saturday
have them all
last week, so we
lined
got to
up.
get you
Yeah,
back
so
on
I
track.
started 2 days ago or whatever, and I'm at 12.
But here's the
Jeez.
here's the checklist.
Jeez on that.
The problem was, as we're reading through the rules and regs, Quinn's like, I've been drinking Mountain Dew all this time.
Yeah, it started in May.
It started in
I
May.
didn't realize that.
During a pandemic, Mountain Dew, we know what you're doing. We know what you're doing. You're
I'm all
trying to
on
pull,
board.
you're trying to pull the wool over everybody's eyes. You know that Quinn was the front runner in this. They know
I
how
could
much.
have been at 50 by now. Like,
You could have been at 50
I
like
could've-
3 days in.
yeah,
You just got to go through the shelves and just keep pulling them out.
I did.
Just
I was
go
at
through 'em
Sheets
and
this
just-
morning, scrolling through, spinning bottles.
But listen, you have to go like you can't drink anything. Not that that's a problem for you. You can't drink anything
It's no
else.
problem.
But like, let's get everybody on board on this, and let's get $1 million. 500 grand you can live on.
Yeah,
That'll be your salary
I
for
hope
next
so.
year.
sure. I would hope so.
And then
I
you,
mean, I don't know how much you get actually. Like $1 million, you take taxes and stuff out of it.
you
I'm
take a
sure.
third out, so you really get about $660,000.
Yeah,
So
so
then we really get 330. Like I'm on board. Like I will get. I told you, if we can get half of it, we're in.
I told you, if I win it and you help, half goes to you.
I'll walk down to the Circle K right now and buy 30 bottles of Mountain Dew. Do you think I'm joking? Like, Karen, give me all the Mountain Dew you have.
Gotta have different states. That's the problem.
Well, I mean,
It's very awkward when everybody's like looking at you, spinning bottles for.
That's why you got to go
trying
late
to
at
find
night.
states.
Just
Listen.
go late at night and just pull everyone out.
as a girl dad, no shame anymore.
No, I have no shame.
No
Anyway.
shame.
I don't really care. But when the Sheets people look at you and judge you, it's
Well, listen,
weird.
it's one of those scenarios whenever, and none of you guys are married, but you will have this one day. The wife sends you on a trip to get things from the store. It's awkward. It is awkward as awkward can be, and then all of a sudden you put it up on the register, like you're hiding it, like you're hiding her feminine hygiene products, like throughout the store. You always bump into somebody that you know at the store, and you're like, oh yeah, oh my stomach hurts. I got things. I got a meeting, and then you clear that path. You jump over that hurdle. Then you get to where you put it on the cash register or the register, and you always get that look. Doesn't matter who is scanning. They always give you that look.
self checkout.
Ah,
Less judgment.
but
Self-checkout.
with self-checkout,
You just have to look yourself in the mirror because they
Yeah,
have
they
a
see
camera at
you,
you, so you
yeah.
have to look at yourself doing it.
but here's the bad part. Self-checkout, I always get like the ding, like the light going off.
Yeah,
So
well, you
it
just
doesn't
gotta
matter
throw
if
it
it's a
in the
thing
bag
of
at that
peanuts
point.
or M&Ms or whatever. But if it's feminine hygiene products where you're scanning it across, all of a sudden it goes off and it's like you won the jackpot at Mountaineer, and everybody starts looking at you and you're like, you just dump it into the bag. I mean, that's the awkwardness that comes with that. So I've learned I have no shame. Like when you're buying, I mean, there's no shame in buying diapers, right? But when you're buying
Unless
like
for yourself.
Then you have
yeah.
a real problem.
Yeah, that is a different story. But my thing was I went to Walmart and I bought diapers. I bought it was diapers, a thing of High Noon, which is an alcoholic beverage that my wife enjoys and I enjoy, and then like 7 bags of gummy bears and gummy worms and all that stuff. And you look at it and you just go, man, this looks like we're having one hell of a party. This is one hell of a party in East Palestine that we're having with beer, diapers, and gummy bears. So I have no shame. So if I have to go and buy 38 Mountain Dews and search for them for 3 hours for $500,000, I think I've done a lot less for a lot more. So.
That's worth it.
All right, let's get to some of the topics of the day. We're going to talk about Major League Baseball, guys. We're going to talk about Scene Park, obviously. We're going to talk about the weather. We're going to talk about a Mike Tyson biopic, which I'm super excited about. We'll tell you who's going to play Mike Tyson. We'll also tell you who would play us in a biopic of our lives. Then we're going to discuss The Undertaker. I had a chance to finish the last ride just critically acclaimed series on the WWE Network last night. I was up till about 3:30, and it was unbelievable. And then we'll talk about Ken Griffey Jr. a little bit, because Jr. came out on Sunday. I didn't see it. I've been searching. It's nowhere to be found. Like, it might be one of those things that only runs once, and if you saw it, great, and if you didn't, to hell with you. But I heard it was unbelievable. We'll talk about Ken Griffey Jr. and how he compares to the rest of the stars in sports. We'll talk about that and a lot more. All of that coming up. But before we take our first break, I want to address something near and dear, and a lot of friends, a family near and dear to all of our hearts here at YSN, the Leslie family, who today they are celebrating and mourning all at the same time the 18th birthday of their youngest, or of their, I guess it'd be one of their sons, Jacob. There's Daniel and there's Grace. Jacob would have been right in the middle. Jacob didn't make it. He was one of those unfortunate situations. And our thoughts and prayers and a happy heavenly birthday goes out to Jacob Leslie here today. A beautiful family, bigger hearts. They will give you literally anything, including the shirt off their back. So we want to raise a toast to Jacob today, all of us here at YSN. This one's for you, Jacob. Thanks for being a part. Thanks for looking over us, and we love you. We love all of the Leslies, so we're thinking about you today. We'll be back right after this on the YSN Power Hour.
21
Good evening,
News.
and thank you for joining us.
Let's get right to our top
More
story
experienced reporters
tonight. A new Wilmington
At
restaurant.
GM Lordstown,
telling more local stories
We'll look at
baby
efforts
boy
to
is
curb
recovering from a broken.
around our
Good
valley
community in
afternoon.
Niles.
We are
One
here in
Triangle Valley
Youngstown, right
business.
because you expect
important for everyone. No place like home.
more local news.
In Mercer County
Before
Court.
they become life-threatening.
21 News is our valley's #1 local news.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends: shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbick with G. Burbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in the Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gburbickfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Burbick Farms, it just tastes better.
And welcome back to the YSN Power Hour. DJ Yoakley with you on this side of the table. On the other side, it's Brendan Miller. Ricardo Juliano drinking his Ohana lemonade, and there's Scooter McGiggles on the end. Before we went to break, obviously paying tribute to Jacob Leslie. We love you. You mean a lot to us. But I also want to, right as we went to break, you missed Richie Giuliano. You missed his mouth when he was sipping on his drink. So we have a caller. Hang on one second, caller. Here. We have a caller on the YSN hotline. Go ahead.
Hi, DJ. It's Grace.
Hi. Hi, Gracie. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. What's up?
Nothing. I just wanted to say thank you for the tribute to my brother today. It meant a lot to me and my family, and he's definitely one to remember, for sure.
Yeah, Gracie, we're all thinking of you here today and every day for that matter. And I know how much Jacob meant to your family. I know how much family means to your family, and we appreciate you being part of our family. In every case scenario, you guys are well loved here, and you're well loved in the area. So anything we can do for you, we always will. What's going on with Gracie Les today?
Gracie Les is running around with the big Les Daniel. Can you wait a second? He's yelling at me because I'm on the phone. But we're getting more stuff for Dad's condo because he's not the most handiest person.
Hang on. We have a story about Dad's condo.
Yeah.
Quinn, go ahead and dive into
Which one?
dive into a couple of stories from our Saturday. Was it Saturday? Or Saturday.
It was Friday.
Friday.
It was a Friday. Which one would you like? Would you like the TV incident? Would
Yeah,
you
let's go with
like
the
how I
TV
built
incident.
Half his furniture. Which one you want?
Let's dive into TV first. Grace,
right.
Grace can stamp
So
this.
nonetheless,
Yeah.
he didn't help at all. He probably couldn't help, regardless, and he has no idea how to set it up. The technological side either.
But he bought a 55-inch television.
He did. He
for his
did.
new condo.
And it does look great. Looks great. But
Thanks, Quinn.
He sat in his little couch corner and did nothing and struggled.
Bro, that's crooked. I can hear
Pretty
it.
much. All while me and Grace kind of just watched him and let him run and took over.
G
afterwards.
Money was helping you, and Steve was doing what?
Nothing.
He
Nothing.
did not know anything. Not one thing to do.
Basically arguing.
Yeah. He didn't have patience with me because I was hitting the wrong button. And he thought he could do it better than I could.
Nobody can do it better than you can, Grace. I think we've all learned that and accepted it.
Yeah, exactly. And Daniel, he bought a table for his kitchen yesterday, and it didn't come put together. So Dad got home from work yesterday and was trying to put it together, and it didn't go too well.
We've recently given Steve the director of technology here at YSN, kind of in jest, just because when you think about Steve, he always lifts his shirt up about halfway up, and as he comes over to you and he says, "You want me to help with that? You want me to fix it?" And you know that there's no chance. Like, he is the only person I know of that completely gave his MacBook cancer. Like, he gave it every virus known to man because he was trying to watch YSN. He didn't just go to the website. Like, he was clicking ads and banners and all kinds of stuff, and all of a sudden his Mac wouldn't work well. So it took Grace and I the entire summer last year to figure out what was wrong with his computer. And finally Grace figured it out. And we basically rebooted his entire computer, just completely nuked it. To which I'm sure right now it's probably not in good shape anymore.
It's really not. It's horrible. It's so bad.
Grace, I mean, you got to play basketball. That you were kind of on the fence about softball. I know Coach Kernan was interested in having you join the ladies of the Ursuline Irish. What did you miss most about school? In the spring, not being able to go back and walk the halls of Ursuline?
It was definitely disappointing because it was just my freshman year and I was like just getting used to everything, and it's really different from moving from junior high to a new high school with more kids. But I definitely miss just being in the school atmosphere and just seeing my friends and like just being a part of the Ursuline tradition because it really is something special.
So we're gonna shift gears because I know you a little bit better than most. Is Daniel gonna go to the casino or anything this weekend?
Well, it's his girlfriend's 21st birthday on Thursday, so we are getting a last-minute gift, and he's taking her to play blackjack. So we'll see what happens. And Daniel's thinking he might lose for the first time.
Well, one of the stories that we know about Daniel is he went to a casino in Pittsburgh, and he was able to play with Ryan Shazier at the table. And Ryan Shazier was taking care of Daniel and the entire table, and Daniel now has a lifelong friend in one of the greatest character stealers to ever walk the planet. He's got some great stories. So if you ever run into to D. Les, make sure you ask him the story about Ryan Shazier.
He's actually right in the car with me, so you're on speaker, so he can hear you.
Tell the story. Tell the story about what it was like when he walked into the casino and what it was like when he sat at your table, Dan.
Well, I'll just leave it at this. You have two of my college buddies who play hockey at Robert Morris and myself who are in the high limits room playing with $100 hands, thinking we're like the best thing since sliced bread. Like, no one was in there. It was like a Tuesday night at about midnight. We didn't have class the next day. And all of a sudden, Ryan Shazier comes in and pulls out about 10 grand that was on the table and says, "Do you guys mind if I play?" So we're like, oh, well, I guess it's our cue to leave at this point. and he started playing and talked to us for a little bit and asked us some questions, and we got to play a couple of hands with him. It was a great experience. And all of a sudden, Post Malone had a concert in Pittsburgh that night too. And about an hour into us sitting with Shazier, Post Malone walks in, and then the bouncers walk up to us and say, "Okay, it's time for you guys to leave. We're shutting this area of the casino down." So we like to say that we met Post Malone, Ryan Shazier, and now they're our best friends because we've got to play one-handed blackjack with them.
I would have stopped those security guards right there and said, "Listen, pal, you know who my dad is? My dad is Steve freaking Leslie. He's the GM of YSN and the Astro Falcons."
I should have done that. But that name doesn't carry much weight in the
Give us about 6 months. We'll be there, and you'll be. They'll say that's Daniel Leslie rolling in with the 10 Gs.
Yeah, Dad just likes to tell us, just say you're my son or daughter, and you'll get in anywhere. Because the big Mr. Steve Leslie name's popular, I guess.
It is. It's very popular. And you should be proud of that.
It's sickening.
What did you two get Dad for Father's Day?
My buddy that played at Ursuline, I don't know if you know the name, Mo Capabianca. They sold the old YSU turf they were giving it out, and I'll give him a quick plug real quick. He's doing like a bunch of, he's like decorating old pieces of turf and turning them into like doormats for Father's Day. He'll spray paint like a Y or an Ursuline or whatever high school you want on it. He'll do it for you, and it's pretty cheap and a good deal. So if you're looking to get something for a dad, go pick that up. But yeah, we got him one of those outside of his doormat, and I gave it to him. And it's like the best thing he's ever seen.
That's awesome.
Won't rub his feet on it.
Yeah, he'll like take his feet just to give me issues, but it's disgusting.
Why do you need to say that?
I don't know, because he's just so yeah.
Grace, so that's what Daniel gave. What did you give Dad?
What'd you say, DJ?
I said that's what Daniel gave Captain Steve. What did you give Dad?
Oh, I got Dad. What did I get?
Gave him the gift of coming to every baseball game and chasing every boy.
Oh my God! No, actually, I got him a golf shirt and shorts, and I got him a card with some gift cards. But
Grace and my mom have been giving my dad a golf shirt and shorts since Grace has been born when I was 6. I think he's worn the outfit once, and then he goes back to the Astro shirt and shorts. So that gift will last for a couple days, and then it'll go deep into the dresser.
And I told Dad part of my gift too is also just being down at scene with him like every day.
Yeah. Wait, but the problem with that, Grace, is I always see you with his debit card. So how does that end up with a gift for Dad when he's paying for you to be at the park?
Well, quick story. Last year during the Astros, when he was helping the 18-year-olds, he gave me his card because he didn't have a tab anymore because I overcharged it too many times.
And every friend, anything.
So I went up to the counter and I had the card in my hand and it split in half and it broke. So Dad had to order like a new card, and Dad was just not happy from yelling at an umpire to then yelling at me. So then 2 days ago, I had the card at one of his games. I was walking down with my friend, and I lost the card, and I didn't know where I went. And then I went back to the bleachers, and it was sitting there. Luckily, no one took it, but I didn't tell Dad about that one, and hopefully he's not listening right now.
Oh, he's listening. I guarantee he's listening right now.
Yeah.
So that is, I mean, guys, thank you so much for calling in. It's always a good time. Please call whenever you feel like. Your family here at YSN, and you're always welcome on the Power Hour. So thanks for calling in. Our thoughts and prayers with you today. We love you both, and be safe wherever you're going, all right?
All right, thank you. Love you guys.
Bye, guys. That was
a classic.
That was good.
That is, you know what? When I tell people how much I love Steve Leslie and how much I love the Leslies as a whole, that's why. Because they are incredible people. Like I said, they'll give you anything that you ever need. They'll give you the shirt off their back. They are unbelievable, and they are the funniest group. They'll just say how it is. I mean, you can hear Daniel in the background. Why would you do that? Like, nobody knew that debit. I knew the debit card story because I was there the other night when Grace lost the card. I don't even think Steve knew, and Daniel knew as soon as she said that story. Oh man, my dad is gonna be heated. But the Leslies are just the greatest group of people you're ever gonna want to know. So when Steve said, it came out this morning on social media and said happy 18th birthday to Jacob, it was an easy decision to make. This isn't something we normally do, but when you're family at YSN, you're family. And you guys got, I mean, you guys know Grace and Daniel, and they're just great people, and obviously Julie as well, their mother, who, the four of them, man, it's like, you remember the, what was it, the Osbournes? Like, if YSN could do a series, like a reality series, we would just follow the Leslies around, because it would be must-see TV.
It's like the Griswolds, like family trips.
It would be.
That's exactly what it reminded me of. 'Cause I was watching that yesterday, and then they started talking, like battling back and forth at each other at who had the better gift, and it just reminded me exactly of like the Griswold family vacation.
The only
That's
thing,
spot on.
oh, it is, and the only thing that's better is if you ever have a chance to be at a dinner with them. It is like, you can't. They ask you why you're not talking. You just sit and watch. You just let it happen to you, because it's so funny. And Steve he's the Fred Flintstone of the bunch. So thank you, Grace and Daniel, for calling in. I know your dad's probably just over the moon, just proud and happy with you guys calling in and sharing some stories. Probably going to get a little bit of a heat on that last one, but but we'll protect you. What's said on YSN is protected by El Capitan. So, guys, shifting gears a little bit towards Major League Baseball. What the hell is going on? I mean, it is, Richie, you're a huge baseball fan. B, you're a pretty big baseball fan. Q, I know you can care.
Massive. You are huge, biggest one of the group.
Since your blog on Saturday at midnight, you've become the biggest.
That shows you how much I love baseball. I'm up nonstop, midnight, burning the late night oil.
Quinn basically asked me, when can I put this up and nobody's going to watch it? And I said, well, you could always put up a Saturday at midnight. And sure enough, Saturday at 12 o'clock, there it is.
Hey, man, I had to leave the state to do the baseball thing.
We're so proud of you. You were in Pittsburgh.
That was great.
We had you man on the streets, ready to interview all the Pittsburgh Pirates, and they just didn't show up, and you couldn't figure out why.
I'm not gonna lie to you. If I walked down the street and the Pirates walked by me, I wouldn't have a clue that was the Pirates team.
Well, it's because you can't see them from your diabetes.
I'm like, they could be from me to you, and I wouldn't have a clue who they are.
Well, no, you probably wouldn't. No. I imagine if you were at a ballpark and they were wearing the Pirates uniforms, you'd have somewhat of an idea.
Yeah.
I'd hope.
But if they just walk down the street wearing a hat like you, wouldn't have a clue.
I have a pirate hat on. I would hope that you would be like.
Have a clue.
Yeah, that guy looks kind of athletic. He's taller. He's got a pirate hat on.
He's got a catcher's bag. He's carrying. They're I just have this vision.
They got all their gear.
They're carrying their glove. Yeah, I mean, no clue.
Not a chance.
But if the 12th man on the roster of the Milwaukee Bucks walked by you, you'd want his autograph.
No, I wouldn't do an autograph, but I would know who he is. I'd try talking to him.
Why wouldn't you do an autograph?
Not big into autographs. This is going to sound terrible, but I'm more into baseball autographs than I am anything else.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Autographs in
I have a
baseball
big
are so
collection
big,
of baseball
though.
stuff at home.
Because everybody collects baseball autographs.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody really gets autographs for NBA players. They kind of just get pictures.
No, because it's $120 for a basketball.
Well, I mean, like if say you're courtside, right, and you're like talking to an NBA player, I wouldn't ask him for an autograph. I'd ask him for a picture. You know.
So if
it was a baseball player, I'm like, can I get?
If you're standing next to LeBron James, you're saying, I don't want your autograph?
Well, no, I mean, I want his autograph, but the first thing I'd say to him is, can I get a picture?
Well, that's good because he won't sign for you. He refuses to sign autographs.
He doesn't sign autographs?
No.
That's interesting. What do we got here? Another call. Well, it's another Leslie call, so it's either going to go one way or the other. So hang on. Here we go. You are on the YSN hotline. What's up?
Well.
Well, if it isn't the technology director of YSN himself, Stephen Q. Leslie. What's up, brother?
Hey, first of all, Julie and I would really like to thank all of you guys for the tribute, obviously. It's a rough day, no doubt, but it's a special day for all of us. He's a special kid. And, those 6 hours of life were, for Julie and I, one of the most memorable 6 hours. So thank you for that great tribute. And then, I guess I got to first go with Quinn because Quinn tells like nothing but the truth, and for our YSN fans, those are all facts, Steve. From the television hanging category and the condo, Coach Leslie is clueless is probably the best word. So again, Quinn, thanks for all your help. But you know, Quinn, I think you could appreciate this. I still can't get Grace's mirror up because the owner and CEO of YSN still, I think, has the screws in his pocket. So we'll just leave that one at that.
All right. So you jack wagons, and listen, I had a mattress store for 3 years. I understand how to move big things up small spaces and stairs. So these jack wagons are like, can we just take this up sideways? And I'm looking at the stairway, and like Quinn's trying to push the actual railing down, like bend it.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
And I said, hey guys, why don't we just take the mirror off? And then we take the mirror off, we unscrew it. Steve didn't have any tools, so we brought down a butter knife to unscrew these screws. And so I took all the screws and I put them in my pocket, and I literally didn't do anything after that. I just kind of watched. And,
that's okay.
And Steve's like, get the hell out of here.
Yeah, it's YSN or bust for me. So it's okay that you do that. And
I gotta admit,
but
though,
you know what? It is. It is. It's just if YSN ever needed a comedy hour, if they could have film on Q and I getting the stuff up the steps, we'd inherit the other 48 states that we're looking for.
I just think,
because
Steve,
that was.
I think if we just had a dinner and had all the Leslies around the I've been there. I know, I've seen it, and it just reeks of content.
Yeah, and those, you know, I really appreciate. I know Grace and Daniel appreciate the shout out for their brother. You know, I think they're headed over to the cemetery. So, you know, those two are very special to me, and I think you know how special YSN is to the both of them. So just a quick shout to say hello. Now you both can get back on what you need to talk about sports. And on my end of it, I'm going to try to do a little work here this afternoon.
Yeah,
so.
How about you go earn that paycheck? We love you, brother. Thanks for calling in.
All righty. Take care.
That's, of course, Steve Leslie, we joke, he's the general manager of YSN, but we joke that he's the technology director here because of all. I mean, if this place fell apart and the Wi-Fi went first, we're screwed without Steve. Steve would be on the roof.
Well, it'd probably be Steve's fault that the Wi-Fi
That's
went out
true.
anyway.
But like Steve, the kind of technological director that Steve would be is the Wi-Fi would go down and Steve would go buy an antenna. First of all, he looked for a Radio Shack, which I don't even think they exist anymore. And he would go try to put an antenna on the roof to try to get our Wi-Fi.
I think there's one in Columbiana, actually.
Is there?
Isn't there? Right next to...
I think they're all
Radio
gone.
Shack's gone.
It is?
I think
There was.
Did we just ruin your day right
I
there?
thought there was. I was like...
Look at the reaction on his face.
He was so disappointed.
It is.
I don't know. I mean,
Richie's crushed right now.
City's gone.
Yeah, no, there was one.
Yeah, man. Circuit City's gone. What are you going to do?
I don't know.
Do you even
I really
remember
don't know.
Circuit City, or are you too young for
I
that?
don't even know what Circuit City is.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Wow, we just stepped into a real
Radio
real
Shack
big
I
hole.
used to buy all my like cords from. Like all my iPhone cords and stuff.
So where do you go now?
I don't know. Maybe the Verizon store or something, but they're always
Amazon.
like
Go on Amazon.
$45.
Go on Amazon. You can get like 40 of them for $10.
Yeah, but aren't they like the cheap ones that like kill your phone?
That's why they give you 40.
You just needed 40 new phones. That's all.
Yeah.
Don't listen to Quinn.
The cord's bad.
Quinn is
The
almost
phone
as
won't.
bad as the technology director. I can't even say it.
See, you got the legit cord right now.
I know. I do.
Yeah, he
on
doesn't
Amazon?
skimp. He doesn't skimp
No,
out on
that's from
himself.
himself.
Listen,
Exactly.
he's not skimping out on himself.
No,
This was from
he's telling me to go buy
different
garbage
things that I'm not
cords,
gonna
but he's
admit
showing up
from.
with the
My man wants
100% Apple.
He wants.
I got
he
the
wants your
Apple
stuff
box.
to
Yeah, you
burn.
got the Apple box.
You got the Apple block too.
My goodness.
This
Quinn,
was nice. I like this block.
He's leading me in the wrong direction.
They say those ones charge faster.
we are so derailed right now. We are so derailed. Which doesn't
We're
surprise
derailed
me.
Yeah,
like
let's get back to
baseball
my
right
favorite
now.
sport.
Anytime,
Baseball. Let's
anytime
go.
Steve calls in, it's like you're chugging down the track, and all of a sudden the train just goes. So, baseball. Let's take it through a blueprint of what's happened in the last week or two. In the major leagues, we're trying to figure out what's going on here. What are the players doing when they say, tell us when and where? So they do this PR stunt, probably pushed by, I can only guess, the players' union.
Yeah.
Tell us when, tell us where we'll play. So then it gets the fans all amped up, and they're like, we're backing the players. These guys want to be on the field. Let's go. Mike Trout, Garrett Cole. Yeah. Oh, let's do this. We're on their side. Baseball's coming back. And then Major League Baseball, the owners and Rob Manfred say, awesome. Here's the paper. Here's the contract. And the players, well,
Let me think about this.
let's noodle on this for a minute. And then they reject it. They do the same dance twice. And then Rob Manfred last night finally says, no, this is the way it's going to be. You're going to play 60 games. And Richie, take us through the contract of what was offered, and then we'll tell you, spoiler alert, it's not good, what happened after this was offered.
All right, so the contract would have been 60 games, and here's the players' benefits that they would have got before they denied the contract. So it was going to be a universal DH for 2 years, a guaranteed $25 million in playoff pools in 2020,
which is unbelievable.
Exactly what we wanted. A competitive playoff with $25 million in bonuses, $33 million in forgiven salary advances that would increase the take-home pay of 61% of major league players. So that would be like 700 some players that are in the lower ranks of the salaries. And then you have the overall earnings for players of 104% of prorated salary.
So they're getting more than their due.
Exactly what they wanted. And then over the last 2 days, the MLB agreed to remove expanded postseason in 2021 in order to address player concerns. So they literally had the perfect deal on the table, and they denied it. And now Manfred said, all right, we're going to do the 60-game deal, but none of these benefits are in effect. So you take away all of this.
There's going to be
no playoff bonuses. There's going to be no $33 million in forgiven salaries. None of it. It's all gone.
This is when we say, it's one of those scenarios where you keep going back and negotiating, and all of a sudden you're just like, no, it's not worth it for us anymore.
Yeah.
Do you think, and this goes back to Quinn's blog from Saturday, do you think we'll have baseball, yes or no? And do you even give a shit?
Well, let's be honest. I mean, the MLB Players Association has to tell the MLB tonight by 5 o'clock if their players are going to report in 7 days to training camp. So if they just denied all of that, I don't see why they would accept it today at 5 o'clock. So I don't think we're going to play 60 games at all, because it makes no sense why they would turn down benefits and now just somehow turn around 2 hours later and say, oh, yeah, we'll play, but we don't want the $33 million and everything in between. So I don't know. I just don't think it's going to happen. And, yeah, I care. I'm one of the few that I think does care because, I just love baseball.
I care. I love
Yeah.
baseball. I'm all in.
Quinn, who's your favorite team?
Cleveland.
Who's the fifth starter in the rotation?
I have no idea.
Think that's
I knew last year. I don't know
Probably
this
be the
year.
guy on my shirt.
Traded everybody. I don't have a clue.
who they.
I don't know. I don't care.
We just
I don't
traded
care.
Cleveland
I can
last
care less
season.
about baseball. There, it's out. I hate baseball. I don't care. Screw baseball.
Wait, ready?
I know, it's surprising.
The surprise.
I know. I don't care.
Quinn.
It's irrelevant. Baseball sucks.
In your interview, you said you love baseball.
Absolutely.
And you
Not
said
anymore.
you hated basketball.
Richie made me hate it right now. Done.
Damn it, Richie.
Never
Hey,
again.
I'm getting back at you for the iPhone.
B,
So there you
Never
go.
again.
what are your thoughts? I mean, you're a baseball fan. You played the game. I mean, we all played for nothing. They're playing a kids game, and they're stepping over dollars to get to pennies.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I don't follow baseball that much anymore as much as Richie does, but I'm all for, watching the playoffs, watching the World Series. No matter who's in the World Series, I'm gonna watch it, just because of the fact it's such an exciting sport to follow along. Yes, it's long, but it's such a fun sport to watch. And I mean, see, for me personally, I think the players for denying that was stupid. That was so dumb for them to do. I mean, yeah, I feel like any professional sport now, if your name's out there a lot, you're all for the money. And I hate saying that, but it's true. But I mean, I think with the players denying that, it ruined everything for fans players, coaches, everyone.
What are you teaching your kids at this point? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I have a Mike Trout jersey, and you know, there's so many little kids that look up to Mike Trout and they want to be Mike Trout. The same way that, as we talk later, every one of us wanted to be Ken Griffey Jr.
Yeah.
What are you teaching your kids? And not that I'm pointing right at Mike Trout, but there's only one player that's spoken out so far, and it's Trevor Bauer, a pitcher who nobody likes. You know, it's one of those scenarios where he's the cowboy, and I think he's okay with that role. Richie, he played for your team.
Yeah.
Now he plays on the Cincinnati Reds, and he's the only one speaking out against the union, saying, what the hell are we doing here?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with him. I love what he's doing. I think ever since he started that YouTube channel and Momentum, you know, he's been able to speak out and speak his mind on Twitter and social media, and I think everybody is on board with him at this point, honestly. I can't remember the exact quote, but he's like, you know, COVID-19 all put us down, but this is making it even worse. And honestly, he's right.
I think that you're going to see baseball take a step back again, because everything's on the table. Everything is pathwayed for their return, and I think the next obstacle we're going to see is the players are going to pull the NBA and start talking about social injustices and things of that nature to just block them playing. And we've gone hundreds of years, 250 to be exact, in this country, to where we've had racial inequality, and so we're not going to solve it in 6 weeks because of Corona. That's just not going to happen. It's going to take a long time, even longer. And you think about, and this is courtesy of Anthony Hartwig in a conversation we had last night, America has done everything on fast forward. We've done things that other countries haven't done in the small time that we have been around. We are, and I hate to say this because of the grimace-looking character sitting to your left, but we are the LeBron James of the world. We have done things at a younger age than anybody, and we've done more than anybody has in that short time span.
Love it.
Anytime he hears LeBron James, he's just like, yeah.
Except for when he hears that you don't want his autograph, because that offended him.
No, I mean, I'd like his autograph, but, you know, ask for a picture first.
Do you think he'd deliver on that? Do you think he'd be like, yeah, get in with a picture here?
Probably. It's quick, you know, turn around, smile.
Yeah, you know, he's inbounding the ball and has him first picture.
No,
Dude,
I mean,
if Richie's front row, he's doing the turnaround selfie, like, LeBron, and he's snapping it. But I mean, from our perspective, baseball is certainly in trouble.
Yeah,
They're
no
certainly
doubt.
in trouble, and
No
Rob Manfred has not helped one iota, and that bothers me. He's supposed to be the guy that you look to, the commissioner of baseball. Nobody wants to be the guy that it dies on their watch. And guess what? We're on life support here.
Yep.
Because I'm starting to get the feeling that nobody cares.
No.
And that's even more problematic than people not wanting baseball to come back. Because that tells you that the people that actually like baseball are finding other things to do.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Well, I mean, just in this area, we already have seen park baseball, and that's been a big hit here on YSN. There's other leagues that have been going around, and, you know, baseball already isn't as popular as other sports are, so everybody's looking forward to basketball, and like hockey is now.
Hockey, yep.
But like now, everybody, I'd say 2 months ago was like big. Like, is baseball really going to have a season? Like, I'm thinking like 100 games, 120 games. Now it's like under 60 games. Like, they're definitely in trouble. And I just think everybody's lost faith at this point, just because how many times there's been proposals and the players immediately, there's not even a thought. It's just like, nope, we don't want it. And how can you not sit down, look at the list and resume of benefits that you're going to get, and just immediately turn it down and say no?
Yeah.
Like, it literally makes no sense. They might just not want to play this year.
If I told you that you would get 104% of your salary for doing less amount of work,
Yeah,
would you take that?
I think anybody would.
Absolutely.
I think the smart person
I'll go
would.
play baseball for that.
No.
Yeah, absolutely, I would.
And there's a bonus in the playoffs. Like, there's never been any bonus in the playoffs besides your own team.
That's my thing. That's the biggest one for me, Richie, is there is more money
Like, it makes
for
no
winning.
sense. And here's the thing: every team has a chance. Like, the Nationals would not be in this postseason. All right. No. Even the Pirates would be in the playoffs. They were a half a game back of St. Louis at that time from the All-Star break. And then they finished 22 games back.
I think Yep.
but I'm just saying, in a half of a season.
But wait, there's more.
No.
We also now don't have 2 of our starting pitchers, and we can't go to a 3-man rotation.
All right, what I'm saying is it'd be more competitive. Like, every team at least has somewhat of a chance.
No, I believe the competitive balance when you shorten a season increases.
Yeah.
But
like we're seeing like all the teams are close. Everybody's like 2-1, 2-2. Then you have like the Astros who are undefeated, but we knew that was going to happen. It's just competitive, and every team has a chance.
Yeah.
Because you're throwing your best pitcher, you're throwing your best relievers, you're not saving arms, you don't giving
have
it all
to.
you got.
You don't have to because their arms have been saved for the last 4 months.
Yes.
So dial in. This is why, and this is a very unpopular opinion. I would love to see baseball to go from 9 innings to 7 innings and play 162. So either stay at 162 and play 7 innings and let the pitchers pitch more, the stars, or you go to 9 innings but you only play 120 games or 100 games. Because I want to see pitchers pitch more. I want to see more complete games. I don't want to see a universal DH. I can tell you that right now. And there's a lot of people that are with me because even though I think that the Pirates would be better, and I'm thinking personally, the Pirates would be better with the DH because they get in so many issues. They could get more pitchers and just have one big hitter. You know what I mean? Or move Josh Bell around or move him in and out of the lineup. But you look at just the game of baseball. Like, I love the strategy behind small ball. I love it. I hated it whenever I was in school. I learned to appreciate it at the college level because you can win a game by 1 run that you never had any business winning if you execute small ball. Baseball is a strategy game that not everybody gets. I get it. I don't know how to play chess. I don't like chess because I don't know how to play it. So when somebody says, I don't like baseball because I don't know how to play it, I don't know how it's played, I understand. Like, I link it together. So when you look at it, baseball is like chess, and a game like football, basketball is like checkers. It's easy to comprehend. It's easy to download. There's not a whole lot of crazy fouls or penalties in it the entire way. But like hockey's had to dumb itself down to get the casual fan. Baseball cannot do that.
Yeah.
It's a ball, it's a strike, it's an out. But the internals of the game are so complex. You know what I mean? You don't throw a 2-1 curveball every 2-1 count. You know what I mean? It's so much strategy. It's up here as opposed to down here. And games that are played with the heart, like basketball, football, a lot of times, even though there is strategy in them, I don't want people to think that there isn't. It's just easier to comprehend, okay? If you're down 3 in a basketball game and there's 4 seconds left, you're probably going to shoot a 3-pointer, right? That's probably the way it works. In baseball, if you're down 4 with 2 outs and nobody on, there's no such thing as a grand slam unless you get people on base. And if you're down 5, you're in a cluster. So that's kind of where I'm at. I think people like to just turn on, like, the one thing, and I'll talk about my girls and put this into context about what we're trying to connect the dots here. My girls cannot watch Law and Order SVU. They can't comprehend it with their mind, right? But if I turn on Bluey or Mickey Mouse, they're enamored and they figure everything out, right? They know Donald Duck stole the toy or Pete, stole Mickey's clubhouse. They understand that. But if we watch an episode of Law and Order SVU, they're zonked out, they're bored out of their mind because it's so slow and there's so many minute details. That is what non-baseball fans feel like when they watch baseball. They're like, what the hell is going on? Like, why is that guy pitching? Why are they pulling this guy out to put this guy? Like, there's so many. Kind of like I feel when I watch soccer. It's like, I don't understand it. And it's just, I feel like I'm sometimes too old to go back and be like, all right, let's clean slate. Let's try to figure this game out. I have a book that has every game in the world. And I've looked up soccer multiple times to try to figure it out. Cannot do it. Like, I've come too far. Like, the last soccer I played was like rotary, and it's basically like move the herd. The soccer ball goes and there's 18 kids chasing it. That was my kind of soccer. I love that. All offense, no defense, all that stuff. But that's where baseball's at for me. I think they're in big trouble. They're not going to get the casual fan now, and they're losing the diehards. And they're old and getting older. So
and I think that's the problem. The diehard fans leaving, that's the problem for the MLB, because everything now is about sponsorships and viewerships, the diehard fans are the ones that are going to be watching every single game. And if they're seeing their favorite players and their favorite teams not playing, not on their TV,
right,
they're going to be tuned out and not want to come back in for the rest of the year, rest of the season, or rest of the seasons after that.
Well, that's you kind of went over a point that needs to be addressed. Is you said it's all about sponsorships, it's all about advertising. It is, because what most people don't realize, it's the only way to pay these players.
Yeah.
You know, you sign a $375 million contract. You know, you can't just do that on ticket sales.
Yeah.
You know, the
A lot
ticket
of
sales
TV
are
sales now.
TV in sponsorships.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's like $50-some million a year for Progressive to be
Yeah, it is.
the official
It's
sponsor
big,
at what used to be Jacobs Field.
Mm-hmm.
So you look at that, and that's how the salaries are paid.
Yeah.
Look at the outfield. It's tattooed with billboard advertisements. And now part of the new agreement is that it's kind of like Congress, where they throw in things where nobody's going to look in the fine print. The baseball uniforms are now available to be monetized by sponsorships and advertisements, just as the NBA is.
Yeah.
And then the next one we're going to see is football. So, and I'm all for it. Because listen,
Yeah.
and one now, I talked to you guys about the NASCAR. I want to be on the hood of a NASCAR. Now I want to be on the sleeve of a Major League Baseball team, because that would be sweet. But at the same time, they're doing this so they can pay the players, or they can make greater margins on what they already have.
Yeah.
So that's what you're going to see, and by a byproduct of that, you see the owners making more money in the books, and the players look at it and they say, well, you're making more money. That means we should make more money. No, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
Because if you're the Pirates and you finish 22 games, behind first place, why do you deserve more money? Explain to me that.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. I love the idea of putting $25 million out there, and I love it even more if they would just cut out the participation BS and say, make the playoffs, great. The winner gets $25 million, or the winner gets 20, second place gets 5, something like that, and you're all in for winning.
Oh yeah.
I want to see what these guys would do for basically $1 million. So if it's $25 million, you got a 25-man roster.
Yeah.
Essentially, you're getting $1 million a piece.
Pretty much.
What do these guys do for $1 million? Because we see what everybody else in America would do for $1 million on The Voice and America's Got Talent, things of that nature. What would a professional athlete do for $1 million? Does it even faze them? Like a guy like Bryce Harper.
Yeah, that's different. I think it's going to be like the lower level players, like in Pittsburgh and Cleveland. Those guys that are only getting paid like $250,000, $500,000.
I'm with you, brother, and that's why I love it.
And that's where it's going to come from. The small market teams are going to be playing harder than the New York Yankees, Boston Red Sox.
That's what I'm saying.
Teams like that.
And if you're an owner or you're a manager, and somebody comes knocking on your door, Skip, I think I deserve more money, or GM, I deserve more money. Okay, go freaking win.
Yeah, prove it.
There's the rainbow. There's the pot of gold. Go get it. Like, you got $1 million waiting for you. That's why I love. Like, baseball could set.
I think they should do that every year. To be honest.
Oh yeah.
That'd be great.
And you know what? The people that should do it are the networks.
Yeah.
The networks say, hey, winner gets $25 million. We'll sponsor it. We'll put it out there. Winner gets an extra $25 million. So that way MLB has nothing to do with it. They can't screw it up like they seemingly do everything else. It's one of those things where I will not believe that this season starts until I see them go on the field.
Mm-hmm.
I see the pitches, the warm-up pitches are over, and I see him. I'm just picturing Garrett Cole in my head, nod yes to the catcher. I won't believe this season happens until all of that occurs, because I firmly believe there's still a chance that if you guys have ever seen Fever Pitch, which I alluded to on my Facebook account, one of the best all-time underrated movies of baseball all time, with the best ending ever. I can see Rob Manfred coming out of the crowd like Drew Barrymore in center field and running in before the first pitch and saying, "We take it back! We take it back! Stop the pitch. Don't do it. Don't do it. The season's, we're not starting yet. Nothing would surprise me at this point. Like, I feel like Rob Manfred is a man who hates baseball. He's a terrible commissioner. He's a really good guy if you're trying to get out of a speeding ticket. But do not freaking touch the game that we love. Like, you've already ruined it enough with all your BS rules and things that you're trying to do to change the game to make it more appealing to the casual. No. Sometimes
just play the game.
Just
first.
play the game. Yeah. Don't change the game. Change the things around it.
Yeah.
Change the things around it.
Change the marketing. That's the biggest thing. I mean, they have no marketing at all.
No.
That's the biggest problem. The game is not the problem. You can't change it.
Because Major League Baseball holds the cards in their marketing.
So many rules and
bad.
different things that players can't do or can't say, and it's just killing it.
It's so bad. You want to talk about good marketing? We're going to talk good marketing next about Scene Park. Rainouts last night, boys. None of us were happy. Richie, you were leading the bunch because you had the calls. Mm-hmm. We will talk about Scene Park.
Yeah, you know the weather.
We will give updates on the standings. We will preview tonight's games that hopefully take place, and we'll give you our Storm Tracker 21 first pitch forecast when we come back on the Power Hour right after this.
Ah, the details. Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods is one fine ride. Perfect cornering, superb handling, sporty and stylish, power to spare, plus awesome mileage. Yeah, jaw-droppingly beautiful lines and well appointed with luxurious trim. Put more oomph in your life and start beholding the molding. Find your home's fine hardwood at BairdBrothers.com.
Storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Today in the showers, I'm keeping my eye on in parts of Columbiana County.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Hi everyone, this is DJ Yoakley with Your Sports Network. We appreciate your support of YSN and welcome you to the YSN family. Our broadcast streams are brought to you live at no cost to you by sponsors that are local to this community. Without the vision and generosity of our sponsors and partners, we would not be able to bring this game to you today. So please support the great businesses and leaders that are making this game possible. And if you're a business in need of great advertising and sponsorship opportunities, feel free to head over to our site for more information on the right fit for you. We are local, we are loyal, and we are live. We are YSN. Hey, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. DJ Yoakley on this side of the table. On the other side, well, for lack of better terms, it's Three Stooges today. It is Brendan Miller, Richie Giuliano, and Grimace McButterpants. Grimace, what are you drinking over there now? You got Mountain Dew, obviously. You got Connecticut, so you're up to 13.
Yes.
Lucky 13. So we talked about Scene Park. Richie, last night you were set to do 2 games on Scene. The rain got the better of that. Canceled all the games at Scene Park last night. Now, the way that I understand it is they will move it just to the end of the season. They have rain dates out there, and I think from Monday it goes to a Monday. Now, I'll ask Scott Rourke to make sure that's the way it goes, but I believe that's what was being discussed. I should have probably just asked Steve when he was on. Yeah. I've been impressed with week number 2. Even on Sunday, had a chance to call it with Jamie Thompson, and a little quicker, a little faster. Everybody's moving a little bit with some pace now. I don't know if that's coming down from the coaches, if it's coming down from the umpires, but it was good to see because maybe we'll get some more games. But the one thing, the trend that I'm seeing is tie ball games. We're seeing a lot of tie ball games right now. I mean, is that something that, obviously the kids can't help. They all want to win.
Yeah.
But is that something that's going to annoy you the way it annoys me right now?
Well, I know it annoyed Steve very much, I'll tell you that, because he was up in the booth. He played that doubleheader on Sunday where he played Prospects and then Edge the game after that. So Prospects, they were tied 2-2, 7th inning. They had the winning run on second base with 2 down and their 2-hitter up at the plate who was having a good day, and they canceled the game they didn't cancel it. They ended it.
Time limit.
Yeah, time limit. So it's a tie, right? And I don't think either side was happy with a tie because you play, 6 complete innings, you battle it out, your starters go back and forth, and then you end in a tie. And from what I have experienced in the past, a tie's a loss. So when it comes down to it, and there's a tiebreaker at the end of the year or at the end of the weekend, the tie is a loss, right? So it hurts when you have a tie because it's basically you're basically 3-1 at that point. You're not really 3-0-1. You're 3-1. So it hurts, and they could go to resorts of the shootout. I think if you want to end it, that's fine. You end the inning there, but then you have one extra inning, and it'd be like a Texas shootout format. So you put that runner at second base. You have it a full count, so you know it's one pitch and next bat, right? It's tough. It's a tough situation, but it speeds up the game so fast it will only take like 5-10 minutes maximum to finish that inning.
I like the idea of the Texas shootout or international rules. Depending on what you call it.
Worked in the World Baseball Classic a few years ago.
It did. I brought up the idea yesterday on Ron's show about the way hockey does it with their standings. I like it. I like points.
Yeah, they do have the points with a tie.
So you have, instead of just, and I think Major League Baseball could do this very easily, and Scene should be able to do it as well, where you go win-loss, that's there, but you also have your points. So if there is a tie in this situation, you get 1 point, but the team that wins, if you do the Texas shootout, they get 2.
Okay.
So I think that's a way to generate, so it doesn't necessarily hurt you for a tie, but in that Texas shootout, you have an opportunity to get a point.
Okay, yeah.
So then you go look at the points and you do the point standings, which could be sponsored by, I don't know, YSN. And then you go, hey, look where we got here. The Astros have 12 points because each point or each win is worth 2 points. And then you go down. I think that's something that baseball could adopt better than any other sport. Because football, what are you going to do? Like a field goal kicking contest?
Yeah.
Basketball, you could do like they do in the – like you have all the dudes roll out like the tires and you can do the passing. Like that's just fun stuff. But baseball with the international rules or the Texas shootout, I think that's a legit option.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I've played in a couple tournaments when I used to play baseball, and it was so fun. I mean, and it's quick. I think that's the most important thing because they don't want games overlaying into the next time because they're all on 2-hour time limits. So they want the games being done as quick as possible, get that field crew out there, get the field ready, players warm up, let's play the game. So if you would have to go into a Texas shootout, that only takes about 5-10 minutes if your players are running on the field. Because by that time, unless you bring in a new pitcher, your pitcher's warm, right? And you only need one pitch. If it's a 3-2 count, you need one pitch, it's a strike, it's hit, or it's a ball.
I think anytime they go into extra innings, it should go into the Texas shootout. I really do. I love it. I think that it would be exciting for the game.
Oh, it is,
I know that I'm completely talking out the other side of my mouth when I say don't change the game in one segment and then change the game.
Well, this is kind of different, though, because it's not really changing the game if it's already tied, right? So if you end the time limit, you're kind of just adding something to the game. You're not really changing the rules in itself. You're just adding an extra feature.
You're getting a decisive victor is what you're getting. You know what I mean? Like ties stink. They're bad.
They're a loss.
Nobody likes them. Yeah, and both teams should get something out of it for tying. You know what I mean?
You don't come to the game to tie, right? You come to the game to either win or you come to the game to lose.
You should know, like there should be a benefit.
Just
there should be a little benefit for tying, right? So you get a point, and then there should be a great benefit to winning the tiebreaker, and then you get 2. So I think because let's face it, like the points don't cost anything. It's not like you're putting them on your debit card, like on PayPal. You just give out the points. Yeah. So I think that's one way to solve some of these ties. Now, heaven forbid this ever happen again with the coronavirus and having to do this. I think that's an option. I really think that Class B should take the lead on this because then you add the extra standing and you go, okay, So you've got, let's say the Astro Falcons have 4 wins. For every win is 2 points. They're at 8 points naturally. But you've got a tie when you got an A to Z and they're 1-1-1.
Yeah.
So they could be 1-1-1, but they have 4 points still because they won the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
I think that's a way to get the kids more involved and to keep people coming to the website and to keep people more incentivized in, okay, so what do we need to do here? You want to talk about strategy. Like, then you're starting to think, okay, towards playoff time, the seedings, we can't tie this team because they need 1 point. We have to beat them outright.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they turn, because we don't want to face them in the playoffs because we're facing their 3 tonight, but we might be facing their number 1 in the playoffs and we get booted. So instead of the other side of it, whereas you tank the game, and you hate to think that happens, but if you have to drop 1 to be in better positioning in the playoffs, the coaches and managers will do it. That's just how it works. Because they've been in so many tournaments in their lifetime, they understand that seeding's everything in a tournament.
And that's why I don't like the ties, because at the end of the season, when you look at the standings, say, you're undefeated, but you have a tie, then you actually have 1 loss, and the other team that's undefeated will get the number 1 seed. So it definitely hurts with a tie. And the worst thing about it is you throw sometimes your best pitcher and, you play for so long, nobody wants to end up with a tie. I mean, it's the competitive nature of these players, the kids, and the coaches. Like, you basically have the feeling after the game's over, like, why did we come here today if we were just going to tie?
I agree with you.
I want to win. I'll take the loss if we lose in the shootout, but I'd rather lose in the shootout than walk away and go eat a hot dog saying we're tied 2-2.
Yeah.
Like, what did you do today? Oh, yeah, we tied. Like,
I think one of those works per season. You know what I mean? Like it's like that.
We got a tie.
Okay, well, we tied. You're going to get one of those a season. At max. But we're seeing it a lot because of the time limit.
Yeah.
And I think anytime a time limit is in there, you should implement the Texas shootout. Let's get a look at the standings. Let's start with the 14U in the Kelso DePizzo division. The Astro Falcons on top 4-0 and 47 runs to 8. These guys are cleaning house. The Rourke bunch is taking care of business early on the season. They are followed by the Prospects at 3-1, the Creekside Fitness at 2-1, Avalanche 2-1, Whiting Roll-Offs at 2-2. Then you have A to Z 1-1-1, Eagleware 1-2, Roth Brothers 0-2-2, Ballistic 0-2-2, and you have CSA rounding out the bunch, still looking for their first victory, 0-3-1. Richie, the 14U division. I know you've seen a couple of these teams, Astro Falcons, and then it seems like it's everybody else.
Yeah. Well, the Astro Falcons, from the 18-year-old division to the 14-year-old division, their pitching is just phenomenal. The 16U division has allowed 5 runs, I believe, in 5 games so far, 4 games. And then the 18-year-old division is, just as good. They've only allowed like 7 or 8. And just the starters that they bring in are just dominant. It's just unbelievable from top to bottom, from 18U to 14U. Their pitching is the deciding factor in every game.
Yep.
Because they'll find a way to score runs, but their pitching literally locks teams down. Like, they're scoring 2 runs a game or less. The shutouts are incredible in a Scene Park baseball game. It's nuts. Prospects
being one of those teams that we said would be kind of the upset special for all 3 divisions, and there they sit at second place. Mm-hmm. Very good team in 14U. Very good team all across the board. Let's take a look at the Hernandez and Levy division at 16U. It's Nightline 5-0. 33 runs for, 9 runs against, and Coach Giordano is doing a fantastic job with that crew. They've got some great pitching. Coral,
Jay Coral is an animal.
Wow, was he impressive the other night? And he is just a big country superstar. He's out on that mound, and he is intimidating, and he doesn't give the pearl up unless he absolutely has to.
Now, on my brother's team last year, he came in to throw a couple games in the travel ball weekends when he wasn't playing at Scene, so I know how good this kid is. He's got some run on his fastball that he could easily blow it right by hitters. His breaking stuff is phenomenal. His ability to locate it is the best part about his breaking stuff, because you would think, with his speed, that he would come at you first pitch fastball every time. It's not the case. He comes in with that bender most of the time, and it locks hitters up. He gets ahead of the count, and he always finishes them off.
Those are the best pitchers to me. The ones that start with a breaking ball or any type of breaking ball, and then go blow you right past it with a fastball. I love pitchers like that, no matter what age.
Yeah, they're not. You've seen a couple good pitchers in your day, B.
Yeah, I mean, one of them is Greg Dunham, from South Range a few years back. His cutter and his curveball were nasty, and then he would throw. I mean, his pitcher. I mean, his fastball is amazing, and then obviously Jake Gehring. I mean, for as young as he is, his fastball is amazing. But I mean, it's just one of those aspects of the game, like the strategy. I mean, you come in with a curveball or a slider first pitch. It's risky, but if you hit it, locate it. I mean, it's deadly to some pitchers for some pitchers to get looked at and really help teams win.
What's impressive and so difficult to project at this level is what they turn into. So you look at Logan Bella from Lisbon. Logan was a string bean all the way up through, and then his senior year he started to develop a little bit of muscle and velo started to go up significantly. Then his first year in college, first time I saw him when he came back home, we went to breakfast together, and he looked like a completely different person with the same baby face, right? I'm excited to see what these big players here locally, when they develop into a man body, what they look like and what that means for their velocity, what it means for their control, and what it means with what they can do with what their God-given talents are there. Because 18 years old, you're still growing into your body, right? You're sitting there and you're like 22, 23, all of a sudden you realize, okay, I got something here. I can bench press a Cadillac now. It's one of those things where you start getting daddy muscles a little bit. So it'll be exciting to see how that kind of grows into with the younger pitchers that you talked about. Greg Dunham, obviously, I think he's in his senior year in college, and man, I just blanked. Jake is looking for, obviously, heading to Ohio State, looking for big things out of his future in his senior year. So it's going to be exciting because he's already getting big. He's already growing into a man's man. So excited to see that. Guys in second place, the 16U division, the Astros. Stevie Les called in earlier. The matchup of the week is going to be the Astros and Nightline doing battle for first place. So you have the Astros 4-0-1 in second place after tying Prospects on Sunday.
Yeah.
Whiting sits in third place, 3-2. Very impressive young team.
Well, most of their players, Whiting plays at the 18-year-old division.
Yeah.
So I was watching the one game that Ron was doing, and I'm looking at the lineup, and I'm like, that name sounds familiar. And then another player comes up, and I'm like, wait a minute. I get out my lineup from the day before. I'm like, most of these kids are playing 18-year-old as well.
Yeah,
So
they're all hopping.
And once you get that experience playing at the 18-year-old division, it's so
Things
much
slow down.
easier to come down and perform well in 16 years. So I'm glad they're playing well. That's a team that, an underdog that you like to see perform at a high level.
A lot of PA kids, a lot of Newcastle kids on that team. One of the kids I'm enamored with is Tyler
Kamara.
Kamara.
TK Kamara.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He's
it's
outstanding.
hard to pronounce,
He is out freaking standing. Like watching him play shortstop is an absolute delight.
Yep.
Like he plays it the right way, but then you see him on the offensive side, and he just ropes for days. Like you don't throw him a fastball and not expect him to hit it 300 feet and pull it. But he can also drive the other way, which has been so impressive because when you look at a young man just trying to learn things a little bit, you can see that there's everybody else and Kamara. That's how you pronounce it?
TK Kamara.
I was calling Kamara. Everybody was calling. So we butchered that. So we're sorry, TK. It's one of those things where you see he's just a level up on everybody. So he's advanced and certainly a young man I'm looking forward to watching. And every time I see Whiting, I look for him. Dura Edge in fourth place, 3-2. Ballistic, who's been making waves. I like that. 2-2-1, sitting at 500 and a draw. Creekside Fitness 2-3, Roth Brothers 1-3, Prospects 1-3-1. Excuse me, Prospects 1-3-1, Eagleware 1-3-1, and the Avalanche are 0-4 with one draw. The 16U division. This is to me might be the most interesting of all the divisions. Richie, your takeaway from what you've seen at the 16Us, and you see anybody that's going to be able to creep up into playoff time and surprise everybody?
Well, I think one of the teams that might be able to surprise everybody who's sitting at the 4 seed right now is Dura Edge. I know that they didn't really fare well against the Astros on Sunday, but that's because Tino Campoli was throwing an absolute gem and nobody could stop him. But they have a good lineup, and they have a good lineup of pitchers as well. So I think that's a team that could come around in postseason and pull off a lot of wins and end up making that championship game.
So then you look at the 18Us. It's the Xene Goldstone division. The Astros sitting at 5-0, undefeated, 41 runs for, 5 runs against. Goes exactly into what you said about pitching. It's not exactly how many runs they put up, even though it's impressive. It's how many that they've held.
Yeah.
The second best team defensively in runs against, 17, Creekside Fitness. So you have a plus 12 on Creekside. That's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, most of their pitchers are all going D1, so they got the stuff. And it's just hard. When you go out there, you're facing a D1 commit, and it's just like, man, he's just blowing fastballs by me. I mean, opening day was just nuts. I believe the Astros starter had, I think, 8 strikeouts, went 5 complete, only 4 hits, no earned runs. And another thing, the Astros pitchers, they've been throwing for, 2 weeks now, I believe, because they've been playing a couple tournaments. So they're already ahead of the game on the bump. They've had multiple games to practice and get out there and get their reps in. So
I think Pletch said they're going to have 60 games by the time it's all said and done. So good for him for getting his kids out there. And listen, the teams that they're playing in these tournaments are no pushovers.
Oh, they're legit. They're
this isn't a
Valley. I mean,
this isn't a lemonade stand tournament. This is this is a legit tournament where they're playing for blood. So let's keep going down the list here. In second place, Creekside Fitness 4-2. We talked about their 38 runs for, 17 runs against. Then you have the prospects. That's where things get interesting. 3-3, sitting at 500 on the year. Whiting also at 3-3. Ballistic 2-3. 2-3 also for the Roth brothers. Eagleware 2-3. Nightline at 2-3. So you have 4 teams there, Richie, that are 2-3, kind of stacked up all there towards the bottom, middle to the bottom, where you have the Dura Edge 2-4 now. So who's the team of the 2-3? So you have Roth brothers, Eagleware, Nightline, and Avalanche. Out of those 4 teams, who's the dynamic team that can set themselves apart? I know who I think, but I'm going to lean on you a little bit.
I'm going to go with Roth Brothers. And
okay.
Is that who you were going to
pick?
All right. I like Roth Brothers because, of course, Savaldi. He's a great coach. I think, later in the season, that's where the head coaching comes to advantage because he's been there so many times. And I just think they have a lot of young talent where they're just trying to get back on the field and they're trying to knock that rust off. I mean, you look at some of the players, they have a lot of young kids, but they are starters on their varsity programs already as a freshman. So their lineup hasn't been hitting the ball too well, but it's only been a couple of games. So I think they're going to open it up a little bit here in the next week or two, and their starting pitching is pretty good.
So I have some concerns about Roth Brothers, and the main concern being that their 2 co-managers are suspended for the next 5 to 7 games. So that has opened up the door for my old head coach, Jerry Hunter, to come in. The Catfish is going to be leading by example. He's going to do a great job, and it's not going to fall on his shoulders. They're mostly 17. They're mostly 17 new players, and they're playing in the 18U league. Now, most of the time, that could bode well because they're young, they're inexperienced, they're hungry, they got something to prove. But in a league like this, experience matters. And I think that's going to be the tough tale for Roth Brothers as you're dealing with a bunch of juniors against a bunch. We talked about that man strength.
Mm-hmm.
That's the difference. And not that Roth Brothers doesn't have it, but they're going to have to do a lot of catching up offensively to keep up with the likes of the Astros and Creekside and Prospects and Whiting. And my team to watch out of these 4 teams is Ballistic. They've already snuck up on a couple teams, as you've seen, 2-3, and they're the new guys on the block. They have that chip on their shoulder, and they've been told that they're not going to make it. They've got everything seemingly going against them, and these guys want to make an impact. They want to make the playoffs. They want to be in that top 6, and I think they can do it if they keep on doing what they're doing. They got a young coach in Chris, and I think that is going to make the ultimate difference. I think he's going to be able to speak to them from a standpoint of, guys, I was there not too long ago. Let's go. He's in with a lot of these coaches. He knows the way they think, and he's a thinker's manager. So it's going to be fun to watch. I take, not that any of the other 3 aren't going to do the job. You never count Juice out. We always know that.
Yeah.
Tommy Otto will always be there when it counts. But I think that with his limited roster, it's going to hinder him.
Yep.
He hasn't had a whole lot of time to bulk that roster back up and I think he's sitting on like 13.
Yeah, it was a short roster when I got it.
So it's one of those things, like, depth is everything, because you're playing a lot of games in a short period of time, and you're going to need a lot of guys. You're going to need a lot of guys. So we hope everybody does well. Naturally, those are just kind of our insights here for the 18U division. Do you see anybody upsetting the apple cart at the top with the Astros? You don't.
No.
I think there's teams that can do it. I know
I
that.
mean, there's definitely going to be some upsets this year where they drop a few, but with the end goal of the Astros trying to repeat their championship, I think they've got it.
I think it's going to be interesting. I think there's a lot of teams, and naturally the Astros have a target on their back, and they know it. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can keep this level up all year. Mike Cifaldi, Coach Pletcher will tell you, usually once a year.
Yeah, he always finds a way to get him.
Coach Cifaldi is going to get him. And this is a big week for the Astros. It's a big week for prospects because they square up. And they square up on Thursday. And if the prospects are looking to make a name for themselves, that's a big name to start with. And 4-3 and 5-1 look a lot different. Now, naturally, we've got games tonight, we hope, that we're going to get to right now. So tonight, Ron Podesta will have the call. It's an Astro night on the network, Nightline versus Astro. That's at 6 o'clock on Scene 1. And then following that, the nightcap, Roth Brothers versus Astro at 8:30. There's your game right there.
There you go.
There's
We'll
your
see what we
game.
got.
Now, there will be no Mike Cifaldi. There will be no Jimmy Cortez because Jimmy got a 5-game suspension and Coach Cifaldi got a 7-game suspension. But out of that darkness comes a little bit of light because Mike Cifaldi has agreed to come on and announce some games on YSN during his suspension.
Nice.
So we're excited about that. He's always a good time. You want to catch his coach's corner. It was phenomenal. I mean, talking to that guy, we talked for 30 minutes, and it was like we talked for 7. I mean, it was incredible. Just asking, he's a wealth of knowledge, and not just about baseball, about life, about the Mahoning Valley, about boxing, and he's a good man with a good heart who cares about the youth of tomorrow. So, he said it himself. He's one of those people that can see himself coaching until he gets his number called, and there'd be no better. Ultimately, I want him to be happy with what he's doing, but he loves what he does when he coaches baseball. So loved having some time last night with Coach Cifaldi, and it was a good time had, and it was funny. So make sure you check it out if you haven't already on ysnlive.com. Channel 21 are our partners. We love looking at the Storm Tracker 21 forecast. And our first pitch forecast for tonight, 40% chance of rain in the forecast at 6 o'clock and 20% chance of rain at 8 o'clock. Richie, we can't have these games canceled, guys. We can't do this.
It stinks.
We got baseball now. Now you want to eat it. Let's go. It's in. It's like protein, right? You work out once, you get a little sore, and then you keep working out, and you get stronger and stronger. Let's keep this thing going. Rain, go away. Come again in August. Nobody cares if we're announcing football games and it's raining because we're all mostly in press boxes. Yeah. So if it's a scenario where we could play baseball up until the beginning of August or into the first week, I want to do it. So hopefully Mother Nature and the Bob Scene bubble stays true because, what was it, last Friday? It poured everywhere else and didn't even touch Bob Scene Park. It was magical. It was like Bob Scene Sr. was up there just with a magic force field like you see in the Avengers over top of Bob Scene Park because it was flooded in Poland.
Yeah.
So
just don't have me there or else it's going to start raining.
Yeah, you are the curse, man.
I am. I'm cursed.
You were there till 1 a.m. last year, and not last night you got canceled.
Sunday night I got canceled. We got the 5 o'clock in, which was nice.
Yeah.
But then 14U game got washed. They had one out, and then it just started coming down. And the lightning just started blasting everywhere. And we sat there for 30 minutes, and then they're like, yeah, it's over. So I'm like, well, maybe tomorrow. And then during the day, it just started coming down again. And I'm like, what in the world?
Richie Rain Delay.
Is terrible.
That's your new nickname. You were Popsicle Pete. Yeah. Now you're Richie Rain Delay. Again, 60% chance or 40% chance rain tonight at 6, 20% at 8. We'll keep you locked in on if the games are happening or not on our social media pages. There's a 60% chance of rain from now until 5 o'clock, guys. So take that for what it's worth. I don't think it's raining. So yesterday it was pouring. We could hear it.
Yeah.
Where Quinn sits, right next to the window, there was a huge lightning and thunder.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Quinn picked up and moved his entire desk across the room. I came out and he was like mumbling. He's like, not gonna happen, not gonna happen, not gonna happen, not gonna happen. I was like, what's wrong, man? He's like, there was lightning. I'm not getting struck. I'm not dying for this. Not gonna happen. Not gonna happen. He just like he had PTSD from the lightning strike. It was incredible. Guys, the next topic we're gonna talk about. We'll take a quick break here as 1:30 is upon us. Mike Tyson has a biopic coming out. We're going to tell you who plays him and who would play you in a biopic starring whoever. You can pick whoever you want, and we're going to do some matchups on YSN as well. We're going to find all that and more. Thanks for joining us for the YSN Power Hour. The YSN hotline is open. It's 330-886-0813. Who would star you in a documentary or a biopic about you? Let's find out after the break. Power Hour comes at you next.
They say American craftsmanship is making a comeback. Of course, at Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, it never went away.
People are floored by Baird Brothers' authentic hardwood floors. They stare at our stairs and adore our doors. Baird Brothers reflects 3 generations of family craftsmanship. Visit our huge in-stock selection in person or at BairdBrothers.com.
Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
Planning a project around your home or rental property? Trust the electrical service to the local experts with 62 years of serving the Mahoning Valley. Joe Dickey Electric is your local go-to source for responsive, reliable residential electrical work. From everyday maintenance and repairs to new installations, electrical upgrades, and safety inspections, no job is too big or too small. Call Joe Dickey Electric today, 800-549-3976, or visit DickeyElectric.com. That's DickeyElectric.com.
Myers Family Insurance knows the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is here, so it's all hands on deck to make sure your plan still meets your needs for 2020.
Call us today.
Hey, and welcome back to the YSN Power Hour. DJ Yokley with you on this side of the table. On the other side, well, 2 out of the 3. I'm guessing Quinn is running down to Circle K and trying to hound them for Mountain Dews with
trying to find that
50 states.
Hawaii and Alaska.
No, correction. Here he is. Grimace makes his way back onto the McPlayground.
That sounds pretty good right now, actually, McDonald's.
What?
Exhibit A. Exhibit A. Before the break, we said Mike Tyson has a biopic coming out. I don't know when it is supposed to debut. However, I do know who is playing Mike Tyson. It is Jamie Foxx.
Yeah,
so
I like that.
I like that pick. I think it's going to be phenomenal, and I think it's going to be really, really good for Mike Tyson. You know, to get his side of the story out there a little bit more than just what he does now with Hangover and his jungle cats in the bathroom. But it got me thinking. If we had a biopic come out or a documentary that was about us, who would play us and why? So I posed the question to you guys. Richie, I know you got yours, so we'll start with you. You've been the star of the show so far. Talk to me about who would play Richie Giuliano or Ricardo Giuliano and why.
I would go Squints from Sandlot.
Wow! All right.
I have a picture. I have to find it where my buddies and I all dressed up. There it is.
I've seen that picture.
You have?
Yeah.
All right. Well, he's seen it. So here it is. So there's me. I'll give you a look.
Don't show him. Show the people.
I will after. I got to show you guys first. See that?
Oh, wow.
All right. Let me know. I got to zoom it in.
Here, I'll see if you can.
See if you can you see that? I'll grab
Yeah,
that.
killed the microphone.
You
But
see
yeah,
it?
yeah, we saw
Kill
it.
the mic.
Yeah.
Spill the
So
popsicle.
that was already there.
That was already there.
So that is me as Squints about 3 or 4 years ago for Halloween. I think it's like a great matchup from all the facial features that.
So he'd have to
together.
dye his hair red.
Red?
You have red hair, don't you?
No.
Not really.
It's like brown. It's like
a light
brownish blonde.
Yeah.
I don't have red hair.
It's red hair.
It is not red.
There might be a shade of red in there, but it's not.
All right, there's a shade of red. It's
Tint,
brown.
Tint of ginger.
All right, it's brown.
You're,
All right, it's
you're
brown.
you're like a Coca-Cola with a tint of ginger in it.
Never mind. All right. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So Squints, I can get behind that. I
And
can
like
get behind that.
he's got like a funnier personality, and he does some goofy stuff. So I think that would match perfectly with my personality, and he looks just like me. Well, he used to.
But you'd have to like cap him at that age
Yeah.
to do that, or whatever. What are you? 20, 19?
Yeah, I'm 20.
20. So you cap him at that age, and there you go. All right, B, you are the guy who, the man of mystery. You've had a couple one-liners here today. Let's hear about your biopic character and why.
This is gonna be off the wall, but he's always been one of my low key kind of favorite actors, Matthew McConaughey.
Whoa!
Yeah.
All right.
Because of that, I just like his personality on screen and off screen. He's just one of those guys that just he seems like he's quiet because of his voice, and I just like the way that he I don't know why.
Have you ever seen Wolf of Wall Street?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's yeah, one of the main reasons why. But yeah, Matthew McConaughey, just because of the fact that I don't know why. I've always been a low key he's one of my favorite actors. Low key. I have many favorite actors, but he's one of the low key ones that I just always enjoyed watching any movie that he was in.
You almost done with that?
No.
Because every time you unscrew it, it's in Dolby Digital in my ears and for everybody at home.
I apologize.
All right, Grimace.
I don't know. That's tough.
Oh my goodness! Here we go.
I don't know many actors. I know 4 actors, and none of them could be me. I'd have to play myself. Plain and simple. They're all too good to be me.
I hate you.
That's fine. I know one that could play you, but that's fine.
All right, who?
No, go ahead.
Oh, you're really good at picking me, but
yeah, I can't pick myself.
Well, number one, I'm picking you. Then
Go
you're
ahead.
Grimace
Who-
from the McDonald family.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's who it's gonna be. You're gonna be Grimace, and when we play this back on social media, there will be a picture of Grimace right where you are.
I welcome it.
Okay, so who plays me?
Danny DeVito.
Oh man, that's a dick move.
He's funny.
That's messed up.
He's funny.
Why? Because he's short?
Oh yeah, kind of. But he's funny.
Okay. All right. I think. Do you guys ever watch Entourage?
Yes.
Turtle. from
Yeah,
Entourage.
Turtle. Yeah, he always wears the backwards Yankees cap. Yeah.
I get it all
Turtle
the time.
is so funny.
All the time. So I think if there is a biopic of DJ, you're playing
Yes.
Turtle.
That's
has
a
gotta
good one,
play.
actually. I like that.
It took me a minute to. I'm sitting there, I'm like, who? Because I have people that I look like. Dan Ugla, thank you.
You're welcome.
And I've heard Michael McHenry from the Pirates. I've heard that one too. But
Turtle's spot on.
especially whenever I started to lose a little bit of weight and I had the beard, people were like, "Oh, it's Turtle from Entourage," because I wear my hat; it's a little bit lower,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh, Turtle." So I think his name is Jerry Ferrara. So Jerry Ferrara would be my biopic. So let's have some fun, and you start thinking about somebody that can play you, Jack Wagon.
I'll get there.
But let's have some fun and let's start putting people at YSN who would play them in the biopic. And let's start with our friend who is a little bit sick today, Tristan Reynolds. See, that's where I thought Matthew McConaughey would be perfect. Because I thought Tristan, he is wild child.
A little wild.
He is wild child. So, for those who Matthew McConaughey is nuts. He is crazy. He would ride a horse into a Daytona 500. That's how crazy he is. He's nuts. But you're right. His demeanor on the screen captures you, but his demeanor off the screen is the guy that usually sits in that middle chair, who dresses like Conor McGregor.
I know.
But Conor McGregor wouldn't be a half bad pick
Wouldn't
by
be.
itself. And then you could have Conor McGregor fight Kelly and have a legit match.
But you'd have to dumb down his boxing skills.
Who?
You'd have to take
McGregor's.
every chance of boxing skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be. I don't know if you're familiar, but Kelly Pavlik has been called out by Tristan numerous times, and Tristan is scratching notches in the bedpost of victories every time Kelly doesn't come into the show. So, what is he, 2-0, 3-0, something like that? 3-0. So, and Kelly could care less. he's like, all right, man, it's cool. But so I think Matthew McConaughey for Tristan would be a good one.
Yeah.
What about our fearless leader Brian Scott from behind the screen? I have a couple I thought of. Is it Jonah Hill? Is that? It's not spot on.
Is that
Jonah Hill's the Moneyball guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Moneyball.
Yeah, like not spot on, but like Jonah Hill's like a smart guy.
Yeah, he's like behind the scenes.
Yeah,
like won't really.
Brian would be
won't really
perfect.
show it.
Yeah, and Brian, like he kind of looks like Brian a little bit if you squint and you're like 6 beers in. But other than that, I don't think there's any resemblance at all. But it's one of those things like it's going to be tough, but you're not trying to capture every essence. You're just trying to capture a person that's famous to play you in your biopic. So I think Jonah Hill would be a good one. I don't know anybody else that would capture Brian's mannerisms, let's say, because he's very, very quiet. He's like church mouse. And then he gets loud all of a sudden. Like when you
that's
do
a good
something.
one. I actually like that one, yeah.
Yeah, I had, when I first met Brian, I had like someone, like, I can't think of him now, but I had someone in my mind of who he looked like, and I'm kind of getting mad now that I can't remember it. Because I pictured every single time I saw Brian, I can't think of who it was, but I pictured him every single time I saw Brian, and like, it fit perfect, but I can't, like, I don't know why I can't remember it now.
It's tough. It's tough to keep all this stuff in your brain.
Yeah.
What about Steve? What about Steve Leslie?
Steve.
I don't know who I would pick for Steve. I mean, he's tough. Probably someone from Goodfellas.
Let's see that.
Who's the guy that? I'm trying to think of his name. The dude from. What is he from?
I can't. I don't know why I'm drawing blanks from Grown Ups.
Sandler?
Adam Sandler?
No.
Kevin James?
Kevin James.
David Spade?
Definitely not David Spade.
No.
He goes, I only know 4 actors. Just starts
It's
rattling
those
them
ones
off.
because I just watched that movie last night.
Seriously?
Yeah.
My goodness.
I don't remember actors.
He names off the entire
Yeah, he's
roster
like-
of Saturday Night Live. He's like,
like,
I don't know 4 actors.
There's some good actors on Saturday Night Live.
No, there's not.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah, I don't know who you're thinking of.
Chevy Chase would be Steve.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that money?
Yeah.
Chevy Chase.
Quinn for the win.
Who's that?
Chevy Chase
Clark
is
Griswold?
Clark Griswold.
Oh, that's what I said earlier, yeah.
That'd be money.
Yeah.
That was that's great. Chevy Chase would play Steve Leslie in his biopic. All right, now it gets a little tougher. We go to Paul Munson. This one's tough. And if Munson's out there and he wants to drop his own biopic character, he's more than welcome to do so. He knows the hotline, 330-886-0813. This is tough. Because Munson's like a creature of his own.
He'd probably have to call in.
What if Kevin James isn't half bad?
No.
Doesn't look like Munson, but Munson's kind of silly like that.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking for
Brian?
For Leslie.
For
just
Leslie.
Because of like how just goofy Steve is.
So I feel like he's got like Munson gets pushed around here a little bit. So I feel like that probably fits more the Kevin James persona.
Yeah.
So let's just go with Kevin James for him. How about my boy Rick Daley?
Oh, nobody can play Rick Daley.
Nobody can play Rick Daley except Rick Daley. He would be. I got it. Jack Black.
Oh, that is a good one.
Jack
I do
Black
like
plays
that.
Rick Daley in his biopic.
I like that.
Comedy.
That's actually pretty good. I like that.
Who else we got? Who do you guys want to drop the biopic on?
The Life of Ron Potesta.
Ronnie Poe. What are you doing over
My
there?
back hurts for some reason. I'm struggling right now.
Ronnie.
You could probably just put a grizzly bear in a movie, and it would pass for Potesta.
Jack Black wouldn't be bad for him either, to be honest with you.
No.
Wouldn't be bad, though.
Yes, it would.
How?
And you're just cheating. You're just going from one guy to another.
It's honest.
No. Jack Black would not be a good Ron Potesta.
How?
He's got a lot of energy.
Yeah. It's the truth. Why are you staring me down like that? Like I stole your
I was staring
cookie.
behind you.
Who's the dude that plays in all the Adam Sandler movies that does like the cross-eyed? Like that should be Quinn.
Yeah.
That's Quinn.
I can't
Staring
think of
behind
him, but I know you're talking about.
You were staring.
The guy in Grown Ups.
Rob Schneider.
No, it's not Rob Schneider.
He casts the same people in every movie he does, basically.
Yeah, but it's not Rob Schneider. The guy that goes cross-eyed all the time.
He's in Waterboy too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, that's you. I'm looking behind you. No,
Wasn't
you're staring right at me.
I was literally looking
Now
at
I'm
you.
trying
Then
to
you
think.
need to worry about not drinking that Mountain Dew anymore because you were right here. We were locked eyes like two intimate people on a first date. It was kind of awkward.
Now I'm trying to think of who Rob Schneider would be. Because, like...
I feel like we're just bringing the grown-ups to YSN.
Yeah, basically that's what it is. It's just like...
They're all good actors.
And they're funny.
Yeah, they're all funny.
Oh, man. I gotta say this one is money. I don't know if I should say it or not. It's I don't know, like Anthony's tough because Anthony's really smart. You need a smart person to be in that spot. And I was gonna say, and this is gonna sound really off the wall, the dude that plays Napoleon Dynamite would be spot on because he could probably play that like Anthony's really smart, but he can be a smart Alec too.
Mm-hmm.
So being Anthony having is it John Heater? I think is his name.
I don't know.
I can't think of his name.
I think that'd be good. I think. Oh wow, is this perfect? Eric Bailey for the win here.
I hate Eric Bailey right now.
Lewis Black for Poe.
Oh, yeah.
That is gold.
That is good.
Thank you, Eric Bailey. That is gold.
That is good.
And Anthony has John Candy as Poe. I like Lewis Black because Lewis Black is an angry individual, and so is Poe.
Did you hear his rant yesterday about Major League Baseball? Then
I didn't, but that's probably why he's relevant.
Yeah.
I did. Eric Bailey for the win. Let's get him a T-shirt. He contributes long enough.
I'll see him tomorrow.
EB, put your shirt size in there, and we'll get you a T-shirt. We'll have
XL,
Quinn.
Same as me.
The hell are you? Like some Google sheet
I
of
know all this
everybody's
stuff.
T-shirt size?
I know this stuff. We do it for AAU stuff.
My goodness. All right, AB, if you're not an XL, I'm sorry. It's all Quinn's fault. What other characters do we have on YSN that we can... I just thought the entire thing was interesting, right? Being able to pick somebody to play you or play somebody else, like that's got to be the toughest thing because, like when you said Danny DeVito, I'm like, man, I would hate watching myself as Danny DeVito. Like I would be so pissed.
Turtle would be perfect.
But like if The Rock came in, it was DJ Yoke. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's go. Like my wife is played by Tyra Banks. Let's do this thing.
Oh, Bailey's throwing shots. He said Keanu Reeves would be me. I can see that. He's got a beard, so I can see that.
Oh, you know who Keanu Reeves is? I thought I was going to have to explain
the
it.
replacements guy. I know who he is.
Of all the movies Keanu Reeves has done,
I don't know any other movie that he's done.
Oh my
I don't watch movies. We've gone over this. We went over this yesterday. I don't watch
What do you
movies.
watch?
I don't really watch anything. I watch a lot of like series.
You watch this AAU film? That's like, dude, Keanu Reeves. You can't name one other movie Keanu Reeves was in? Like, not even one of the biggest, highest grossing movies of all time?
Nope. Didn't watch it, so no.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
The Matrix?
Didn't watch it.
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Didn't watch it.
Speed?
Nope.
Was it John Wick?
Nope.
What?
I didn't watch them.
But you're comparing yourself to Keanu Reeves from The Replacements, which doesn't look anything like you at all.
I didn't say it. Bailey said it.
But you said you could see it.
Yeah, when he has his beard.
You see how he gets nervous and he drinks his Mountain Dew like it's going to save him?
I know.
And he...
I drink my Mountain Dew consistently.
John Wick. See, even Munson's throwing... And Munson, who would play you? Who do we have for Munson? Did we pick?
I don't think we picked. Did we pick?
Oh, Kevin James. Kevin
Yeah,
James.
okay.
Kevin James. And that's not a knock on anything. That's just how Munson is perceived. But Munson's calling you out for the John Wick and the Matrix. I'm really into... That bothers me that you haven't seen... Like, we're going to have to sit on the couch and watch the Matrix.
Okay.
Because I think, first of all, it would change your life.
Probably won't.
Do you think that the Matrix would change Quinn's life?
Oh yeah.
Like,
Not
Quinn
my
would
all-time
think that
favorite
he's in the
movie.
Matrix. He would actually think he's Neo. It would change every decision you've ever made.
No. No, it won't.
Who else can we tag here? Trying to think. Nate Kuiper? Who would play Nate Kuiper?
You got to find somebody like outgoing. Somebody with like longer hair.
Oh, who is the guy? It's gonna drive me nuts because I feel like I do this all the time. Oh, who is that guy that does this? And then
You just can't think of it.
You can't even put words together for it. Lewis Black for Poe is money. That is spot on. Absolutely spot on. But I like Jack Black for...
Jack Black's good.
Yeah, I like Jack Black for RD. By the way, if you haven't read Rick Daley's latest blog, it is good, but it is all over the place. So you have to be able to read almost like 3 blogs in one. So exciting stuff, good stuff. It's called Always 65. It's Rambling Rick. It's on ysnlive.com. Quinn will have his Mountain Dew blog coming up. Is that 12 or 13?
12.
That's 12. And that is Connecticut. So we will see if Quinn can conquer the United States and take the United States by storm. And we will get our $500,000 from tagging on his coattails. When we come back, the biopic thing fell flat on its face. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought it would be a lot better than what it was. I'm sorry to everybody out there, all 2 of you that are watching. When we come back, we'll talk about The Undertaker. He is officially/unofficially retired via The Last Ride. We will talk about The Dead Man, and we will also talk about the documentary of Ken Griffey Jr. and how his legacy tends to line up against others in that particular era and how it lines up to those now. All that and more coming up on the Power Hour right after this on YSN.
Hey, my Ohio friends, it's Mike Ditka, and I know great talent and heart when I see it. I can tell you from firsthand experience, there are average real estate agents, then there are true champions. Kelly Warren is one of those champions, and you have it right there in your own backyard. Kelly outmarkets and outsells every agent in the Mahoning Valley. If Kelly can't sell your home at a price and deadline you agree to, Kelly will buy it. Get your home sold. Call Kelly Warren today at 717-2689 or go online to kellysold.com and start packing.
You can feel it. Baird Brothers' traditional craftsmanship. You can see it. Baird Brothers' timeless style. And you can afford it. And find everything at BairdBrothers.com. Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods is real hardwood, yet beautifully affordable. Floors, moldings, interior doors, bar rails, and stair parts. All within your means and without a care. Start at BairdBrothers.com. You have made it your home.
Teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams. 21
Good evening,
News.
and thank you for joining us.
Let's get right to our top
More
story
experienced reporters
A new Wilmington restaurant.
GM Lordstown.
telling more local stories
We'll look at
Baby
efforts
boy
to
is
curb
recovering from a broken.
around our
Good
valley.
Community in
afternoon.
Niles,
We are
one
here in
Valley
Youngstown,
business.
right up.
Because you expect
It's important for everyone. No place like home.
more local news.
In Mercer County
Before
Court.
they become life-threatening.
21 News is our Valley's #1 local news.
Welcome home to a home made homier with Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods. Inspiration starts at BairdBrothers.com and is turned into reality when high-quality hardwoods are delivered right to your home. Baird Brothers has the latest design trends, shiplap and skinny lap interior siding, antique oak rustic flooring, and, well, you'll find them all at BairdBrothers.com. Ordered easily, delivered conveniently, enjoyed comfortably. BairdBrothers.com.
Hello, I'm Greg Burbick with G. Burbick Farms. For the last 100 years, my family has farmed in the Columbiana and Mahoning counties. I began raising cattle in 1996 with the goal of providing a better product for you and your family on the dinner table. Our grass-fed and grain-supplemented Black Angus beef are raised with no hormones, steroids, or antibiotics. We're known for our hometown-friendly service and incredible tasting products. We're locally owned and have customers across the tri-state area. Our products go from our farm to your family. Stop by our farm on New Buffalo Road or visit us on the web at gburbickfarms.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook. G. Burbick Farms, it just tastes better.
And welcome back to the YSN Power Hour. DJ Yoakley with you. On the other side of the table, Brendan Miller, his first cameo appearance here on the YSN Power Hour, first of many. You have Richie Giuliano, and of course, the other guy sitting downwind. What do you want to be known as?
I don't care.
I like the nicknames you come up with.
Just keep changing it, so it doesn't matter. It always amuses me.
Scoodles Patootie.
That's good for the next half hour.
All
That's
right,
fine.
dude. All right, Scoodles. So, I gotta put my headset on so I can hear you guys. So when you look at it,
He just laughs. I think he just thinks of things in his mind and he just starts laughing.
he doesn't think of much, obviously, since that last segment. He thinks about 4 things, and then that's about as deep as he goes.
Do. Hey, you.
He's about as deep as a scoop of ice cream. So, which, by the way, you look like a grape cone right now.
Great. I'll never turn down a free T-shirt, so it's okay.
Is that free?
Yeah, of course, because I coach.
Anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about someone who likes to wear purple and black. It's The Undertaker, who officially / unofficially retires from the WWE and from professional wrestling this past weekend on his WWE documentary on the WWE Network, The Last Ride. Guys, The Undertaker, B, I know you're a wrestling fan. Richie, a little bit.
But I used to be one.
Quinn?
Oh, I'm all in. Let's go.
That means no.
That and baseball.
That
Two
means-
best ones on the planet.
That means
Love it.
absolutely not. So, I mean, I've got my own recollection of The Undertaker. I've never liked the scary guys, but after watching the Undertaker documentary, thought it was amazing. Got to know the Undertaker and Mark Calloway better than any other opportunity that you'd ever have. Like, you could meet the guy and he wouldn't show what he showed in that documentary. It was actually a documentary that was supposed to last for 1 year.
Yeah.
And it ended up lasting, I believe, 3. So he was supposed to retire 3 years ago and had a good match, thought he had a little bit more in the tank, then he had a bad match, and then he said, I couldn't finish like that, and then was able to have finally, as Triple H calls, he chased the dragon and got the match to send him out. And the entirety of the WWE universe, sad already because they can't go to the shows.
Yeah.
We're even more saddened because the dead man rides off into the sunset. So, do you have any memories of the Undertaker, or kind of what he meant to you, or your first feelings when you saw him as a little kid?
Yeah, no, I mean, I grew up with wrestling because of my brother and his friends. They were into it, not as much as I am now, but I just grew up watching it. And then once I saw John Cena, I mean, I was beyond. I was just such a big fan. So I'd go to Cavelli Center every single time that they came to Youngstown, and then I had the opportunity to go to WrestleMania in New Jersey.
Wow!
Oh my!
Didn't see that one coming.
Big time trip.
And
I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, big fan. He goes to Cavelli Center.
Yeah.
Like, okay, and then
WrestleMania in New Jersey.
What? Start with that.
Okay.
Not even in Pittsburgh or anything.
No,
New Jersey. I'm like,
so I went to one in Pittsburgh. It was like a bragging rights one back then.
Okay.
I went to that one. That was when John Cena and Randy Orton fought in that Iron Man match.
Oh yeah.
I went to that one.
And John Cena got hurt.
Yeah, and he won. But so that WrestleMania.
I swear we're not nerds. You're looking at me like we're nerds.
You remember from 2005?
Yeah, that
a sport.
That WrestleMania was one of my best experiences of my life, just because of the atmosphere being outside. It rained before the thing even started.
Where did you sit?
I sat
And who did you go with?
My dad.
Okay.
Yeah, actually it was during when South Range was down at Myrtle Beach for baseball. Me and my dad, instead of flying back to Ohio, we flew from Myrtle Beach to New Jersey.
That's a trip.
That is awesome.
Yeah, and we stayed with my aunt who was living down there at that point, so we didn't even have to pay for a hotel. We just stayed
is that cool?
Yeah, it was amazing. But I sat, so it would have been, if you're facing the stage, it was to the left.
Okay.
So
were you up?
Yeah, not too high. I mean,
Okay.
I couldn't really see, but it was really nice seats. But that Undertaker match that he fought CM Punk, and hearing his music in real life, in person, it is one of the most disturbing things you'll ever hear, but in the best way possible.
Yeah, I wouldn't say disturbing. It's the way it's unsettling.
Yeah.
Like you hear it, like you hear the first bell toll.
Yeah.
And the lights go out, and you're like,
yeah.
You know what's happening, but you're still like, I could die right here.
Yeah,
like this
really
guy could
is.
take me out. But I'm with you, B. I didn't know you went to WrestleMania. That's really cool.
Yeah, no, it was such a cool experience just because, like, I mean, that was right before, or that was right after they got hit with the bad storm, and everything happened. So everyone there was just on fire. And
that was the Rock one too, wasn't it? I thought that was Rock versus Cena.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, that was.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the one that John Cena beat The Rock.
Yep.
Because the year before, Rock that was in Miami.
John Cena, yep.
Yep. It was unbelievable. And then I went to one Youngstown again, and I got that. My grandpa bought VIP packages, so I got a picture with Daniel Bryan.
All right.
Kane, and then I got to sit front row.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just I'm not into it as much, but I'll still watch it every Monday and Friday. But back then, I mean, my grandpa, funniest dude you ever meet in your life, and he brought up a sign that in Slovak he put John Price, because apparently Cena means price in Slovak. I don't know.
Okay.
But so he brought it on cardboard, just wrote John Price, John Cena saw it and he threw a band to me, and like 2 seats down, some guy grabbed it. Yeah, I was devastated for 2 years straight.
That's when you get rowdy and you just throw the "you can't see me" and you throw him up and give him an attitude adjustment.
Yeah, Ryback. Remember Ryback?
Oh, I know Ryback.
Yep. He threw something towards us, so I grabbed that. But I have that. But I just like.
What is it?
It was like his tank top thing that he like.
Oh, his shirt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to cut his shirts real like
Yeah.
skimpy, I guess is
Yeah.
the word for
and
it.
so I got that, but you know, nothing will compare to the guy.
Feed me more.
Do you see how he bashes the WWE?
Oh,
now?
he does. He's an
it's
idiot.
like-
He's an idiot. He's just trying to make a name for himself. So it's one of
It's
those.
definition of meathead.
Yeah, he's an idiot. Richie, I mean, do you remember the Undertaker at all?
I mean, yeah, the only thing I really remember is his entrance, which you made mention to right there, and you know, the bells coming off and the lights just completely going out, and then he comes out and he just does that thing with his eyes.
Oh yeah.
I don't know the thing with his eyes.
I can't do that.
That's the one thing when you say the Undertaker, in my mind I'm like, this guy's like, his eyes are in the back of his head.
Rest.
Yeah. Him and who is it? The Game. The
Triple
guy-
H.
Yeah, Triple H. The Game. That's a
That's
good
my guy.
entrance song too.
Oh, I'm a big Triple H guy.
Yeah, Triple
Love
H.
Triple H.
So those two.
Do we even go to you? Like,
I know the eye thing. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, I mean-
and that he's massive, and that's it.
6'8". So I mean, and he quit basketball. He had a scholarship to play basketball.
Starting center
Did he
for
really?
damn near anybody.
Full ride. Full
Yeah,
ride.
full
To
ride.
where?
I can't remember.
Can't teach height.
Wesleyan, Texas Wesleyan, I want to say.
And his dad was super mad.
Was
That-
mad, but then you turn into the Undertaker.
Yeah, I know.
Like, how do you argue with that?
Yeah, you can't.
Now, the one thing that threw me off at the last episode was when he talked about his brother passing away.
Yeah, so that was interesting to me because that didn't get any attention at all.
No, not at all.
And I remember watching the WrestleMania, bits and pieces of it. Didn't know any of this stuff. A day before, and we are, if you guys don't know already, so we are a society of, if it happens to you, you start catching, like every time, like if somebody in your family passes away, you start catching that graveyards and things start like happening in your mind that you catch that you normally wouldn't catch or pay attention to. So he's the Undertaker. And a day before WrestleMania, his brother passes away of a heart attack. And then he's in basically, it's called a boneyard match, but it's in a graveyard. And yeah, so he said that kind of messed with him mentally, because they did it cinematically, where they had multiple cameras.
Amazing.
And it was outstanding. I think that's the way that wrestling should be done from now on.
Oh yeah.
They just do it that way.
Yeah.
Like comic book style, like movie. But when you have someone pass away, everything that reminds you of that person seemingly is there. You know what I mean? And naturally, I think they saved the funeral so Mark could go to the funeral and be a part of it after WrestleMania, after he shot it. But imagine, you know, the state of mind he had to be in for one of the biggest matches of his life.
Yeah.
And he's in a graveyard. They literally threw him in to the grave. And I mean, even if he didn't show it on film, there had to be in the back of his mind, like, man, this is messed up.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit messed up. And that's what kind of got me, because, again, you know, you're dealing with that, and the show must go on.
Yeah.
You know, that we've had stuff happen in our personal life that I don't have anybody else to back me up. Like the other day, it was last week, Ron Podesta had some issues with his mouth, texted me, said, hey, I need relief. And I said, I can't help you. Like, I'm stuck. And he goes, show must go on. And he finished the night. Like, you know the difference between a performer and people that love what they do, and respect is a big part of it. And the way that through that entire docuseries, The Undertaker and Vince McMahon respected each other, because you can't make a fist with just 3 fingers. Mm-hmm. It has to be 5 fingers make a fist. And that's why I thought it was so cool, because what we do can be construed as what the WWE does, because we can't do anything we do without the fans, without the players. But ultimately, what we do makes what they do over the top. You know what I mean? It gives them an outlet too. So I've compared us to the WWE in the sense that we came on at a time that nobody really cared.
Yeah.
And we've made people care. And now local sports is all people have, and we're the go-to for it.
Yeah.
So, like, the WWE is the only thing in business right now, really, in sports, outside of NASCAR. And now their ratings are starting to rise again, and they're realizing that. So I love the series. I thought it was awesome. Who's your favorite wrestlers of all time? I mean, if it's not, obviously it doesn't have to be Undertaker, but would you want to see a docu-series on them? I know you said Rey Mysterio.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a fantastic
Yeah,
one.
Rey Mysterio was my big guy back in the day. I used to actually have like his masks that he used to wear, and then I know he had like the straight pants down the side, and I like because he was like just all over the place. He was bouncing off the ropes left and right, just off the top. And
So I have to ask
he
the
was
question
good.
to your neighbor here. Did you see Richie running around in Rey Mysterio and jumping off the swing set and trying to be 619 and people?
Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah,
I just want to see Richie come out of the, like, bust out, like 7-year-old Richie bust out of the front door. Booyaka, booyaka! With a popsicle. Popsicle Petey. Quinn, did you have a favorite wrestler? Like, not even like Hulk Hogan?
No. I never watched any of that stuff. I never believed it was real, and I was just like, this is stupid. Never watched it.
I knew it
Never
wasn't
cared.
real.
See, the one thing
This was like,
real
this
quick
is
is
stupid.
I wish I was I was able to see the Attitude Era.
Oh, baby.
Because when The Rock, like when he was in his prime and Stone Cold, like
it was amazing.
Oh, and then the Ruthless Aggression era, where it was
That was-
that's where I started getting at. So that's why I enjoyed it so much.
That was kind of yeah, we know, Quinn.
It was
You
a
don't
bunch
know.
of grown men in tights. Like, this is stupid. I just didn't care.
You saying that about wrestling is like me saying that LeBron James is the best exerciser in the entire world.
He is.
Congratulations. You're the best at exercising and shooting a basketball in a hoop. Congrats.
Thanks for admitting it finally.
At the time, yeah.
You admitted it.
Shut up, Grimace. Don't you have to go pick up the McNuggets some point?
I will be ordering it later.
Yeah, I know you will.
No,
Like, I think there needs to be a better respect towards professional wrestling. I mean, I couldn't do it. I tried it in college.
Yeah.
Like, even just, like, playing it, you know, with guys in the dorm. Dude, you're done. You're spent 2 minutes in.
Yeah.
So, like, Undertaker did a 45-minute match cinematically, which took from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Yeah.
Like, imagine putting your body through that.
And he's what? I can't remember. Like, what is he?
55. He's the same age exactly as Ronnie Poe.
Wow.
So you look at that and you go, holy cow. Like, not that Ronnie's in bad shape, but the two differs in The Undertaker and Poe. I mean, it's crazy to me.
Yeah.
55 years old, and the dude is jumping out of freaking wrestling rings, like over the top, getting slammed around. Like, I just want to be able to be alive when I'm 55. This cat is getting
from the top rope.
With how tall he was, and usually like someone like that should not be as athletic as he was, and him being able to jump over the top rope and land on someone or all that, like the one thing that they showed that during the doc was when Edge pushed him off the ladder and he landed on a bunch of tables.
Oh yeah.
Like, obviously those are breakaway tables, but there was 2 sets of tables stacked up against each other.
Well, let's just be honest. I don't care if they're breakaway or not. Probably still not going to feel good.
Yeah, that's what I'm
on the way
saying.
down.
It's just like he's taken such a toll on his body, and he's still able to do this stuff. And he was looking for that the best match, like
Chasing the dragon.
I feel like the matches with Shawn Michaels when he had a WrestleMania, that he could have called it
Incredible.
quits there,
And he should have.
He should have.
And he'll admit that. Those were the creme de la cremes. And then he had a couple good matches with Triple H.
Yeah, yeah.
And then he had some stinkers after that until AJ Styles. But AJ Styles is the best there is.
Oh.
And they made mention of how he played better with smaller athletes. And he made them kind of outkick their coverage, so to speak.
Yeah.
He put them on a pedestal. So interesting stuff. My favorite wrestler of all time is Hulk Hogan. And to this, I'm getting more appreciation as we go towards Macho Man in the actual matches. But let's face it, I'm a hype guy. I'm a marketing guy, and Hulk Hogan had it all going. He was Michael Jordan before Michael Jordan. He was everything, and Hogan had it going, and terrible wrestler, come to find out. But as a little kid, you're all in. Like Cena was never a good wrestler.
No,
never a good wrestler. But he had the hype machine behind him, and he had the "You Can't See Me." And Hulk Hogan had "Say Your Prayers," train, eat your vitamins, and one of those things. So it was fantastic. Wrestling, I knew it was fake, and that's not the point of wrestling. It's what they can do, the athleticism that they have. I could never do 99% of the things that they do.
Yeah.
Like, on a regular basis. Like, go take a clothesline. I think that's one of Quinn's next things. I got a couple friends in professional wrestling.
Stupid. Like, I'm not going to do that. I didn't want to run a 40-yard dash. Why would I do that?
Because they're just a couple minute tights.
I don't care.
So we'll get Quinn signed up for some professional wrestling.
Not going to happen.
And
Rick Daly's the wrestler, not me.
We'll have him slam Quinn around.
Not
and then
happen.
we'll have a match between Rick and Quinn.
I'm not going to lie to you. If I did all that stuff, I would still, at the end of the day, say it's stupid. So it's not going to mean. It doesn't mean.
Why is it stupid, though?
It's just stupid. I never got into it, and I thought it was stupid. It's just the way it was.
The Extremist continues. Live from the McDonald's studios, Grimace and the boys will be back after this on YSN Power Hour.
Ah, the details. Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods is one fine ride. Perfect cornering, superb handling, sporty and stylish, power to spare, plus awesome mileage. Yeah, jaw-droppingly beautiful lines and well appointed with luxurious trim. Put more oomph in your life and start beholding the molding. Find your home's fine hardwood at BairdBrothers.com.
Storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
And locally, we're going to have a lot of eyes on our area.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
Today in the showers, I'm keeping my eye on in parts of Columbiana County.
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Hi everyone, this is DJ Yoakley with Your Sports Network. We appreciate your support of YSN and welcome you to the YSN family. Our broadcast streams are brought to you live at no cost to you by sponsors that are local to this community. Without the vision and generosity of our sponsors and partners, we would not be able to bring this game to you today. So please support the great businesses and leaders that are making this game possible. And if you're a business in need of great advertising and sponsorship opportunities, feel free to head over to our site for more information on the right fit for you. We are local, we are loyal, and we are live. We are YSN.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. DJ Yoakley with you here in the YSN Power Hour, proudly presented by the logos and wonderful people down in the bottom, well, right below me, it's bottom left-hand corner, but we couldn't thank them enough. Without them, none of this would be possible, and without you, that's doubly as important. So thanks for tuning in for whether it be the Power Hour, whether it be Running Point, whether it be our broadcast during the evening, during the day, whatever time of day it is, we appreciate you always supporting Your Sports Network and being part of our family here at YSN. Guys, we talked about The Undertaker, much to the demise of the Purple Warrior across the table from me, because he doesn't believe in wrestling and he doesn't believe it's real and he doesn't want to do anything, and he's gone into Quinn Igloo mode where I'm not going to do anything, I'm not going to say anything. Then I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it anymore. If we're not talking about basketball,
You asked my opinion, and I gave you my opinion.
It's not even an opinion. It's not an
It's
opinion.
stupid to me. That's my opinion.
It's not an opinion. It's just a dumb opinion.
It's no opinion. I think think it's
It's
stupid.
not even an opinion. I
think
shouldn't even
WWE is
preface that.
stupid. It's an opinion.
There's no education behind that. There's no information behind that opinion. It's just
stupid. I don't like it. I think it's stupid. That's an opinion.
Okay. Well, we're turning the page to baseball, which will make you even more comfortable because we all know how much you love baseball.
More comfortable than wrestling.
So we're on to well next time. Here's what we'll do, Quinn. Here's what we'll do because you're being a smartass right now. The next on Thursday, you get to sit in this seat and you get to be the host.
Not gonna
So
happen.
Grimace will get to steer the ship a little bit because he wants to sit over there, pout, and drink his 50 Mountain Dews all in one sitting. So that's what we'll do. You can be the host on Thursday. Everybody tune in and you can throw your jabs.
You asked my opinion. I answered. That's all. I was answering your
no,
question.
you're being a smartass. So that's what we'll do.
Answering your question. That's
So
all.
you want to be in charge? You want to be a big rock star? Have 6 cars? You know how it goes.
I only have 2.
So make sure you tune in on Thursdays. Quinn Pushkar will be leading the charge.
Negative.
Junior on MLB Network on Sunday, on Father's Day, with all the things going on, completely missed it. Completely missed it. Started at 8, didn't get home until 9, but I heard it was awesome. Ken Griffey Jr. is one of the best of all time, to me and to many. And the documentary was, some said it was better than The Last Dance, which I thought was interesting because I thought The Last Dance was as good as it gets.
Yeah.
I thought that was the benchmark.
Yeah.
So, Ken Griffey Jr., give me your favorite Ken Griffey Jr. memory, whether it be actually Ken Griffey Jr. or a personal memory of you trying to be Ken Griffey Jr. We'll start with the Purple Warrior.
Yeah, I mean, Griffey's my favorite player of all time. I will say that. I remember trying to be Griffey in the parking lot, just playing in the street and stuff with Richie and everybody. I was left-handed, so naturally I wanted to be Griffey. It was just the way it was. Do the little swing and all that stuff and hit it like 5 feet, but nonetheless, just wanted to be Griffey. It was just the way it was.
Did you do the backwards hat and everything?
I think I might have. I don't remember that part. I remember the swing, but how do you forget the swing?
Griffey's how I started the backwards hat. Like, always, once he started wearing it, it was like the cool thing to do. And I remember somebody telling me a couple years ago, like, all right, backwards hats are over, man. Wear your hat forward. And it's no disrespect to the game at all or to anybody. It's just KG was my dude. The kid was my guy. And I grew up with him, and I think it's a tribute to him. And I'll be honest, I just feel, Richie, I look at you because you're wearing the backwards hat right now. It's a little bit more comfortable sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. And quite frankly, I think I look better in a backwards hat than I do in a frontwards hat. So,
Give me your Ken Griffey moment.
I'd say one of my favorites, and looking back, is when he ran in front of his dad to make the catch in left field, and then he gets back to the dugout, and his dad's like, "Give me your keys, you're grounded."
You're grounded.
And he's like, "You got to be kidding me!" And he's like, "I'm dead serious." And he actually did ground him for stealing the fly ball in left field. So I think that's one of my favorite moments from him.
Junior was 18 when that happened.
Yeah, that's crazy to me.
18 in the big leagues.
That's crazy. Just the amount of talent you have to be 18 years old. I mean, you just got to be born that way, honestly. Like, it's just nuts. It's nuts.
B?
He was my favorite player growing up for the longest time, and it's really weird why, but it wasn't because of how good of a player he was. It was my dad was going on a business trip, and he had gotten a Ken Griffey Jr. Like one of those like those plastic statues of him, like in a stance. Loved that thing. Would not like I would sleep with it sometimes because I loved it so much. I ended up becoming a Cincinnati Reds fan for like 4 years because of it.
So we're talking about the Mariners, and when you envision Ken Griffey Jr., you envision the Reds.
It's always the Cincinnati Reds for me.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really have a specific moment from his career just because I really don't remember watching baseball that much when I was little when he was on the Reds, but I just remember just like when I play the MLB games, I'd always put my character, like the guy I create, have his stance as Ken Griffey Jr.'s because his stance will always go down as one of the legendary stances of all time.
Sweetest swing ever.
He just had that perfect form and everything about it, and it just, I mean, he was one of those players that, like, if you think of baseball, you think of him. And so he was one of my favorite players for the longest time, and then for some reason I went to A-Rod. But I mean, because
I like A-Rod.
Yeah, no, I like him. It's just like I like Ken Griffey Jr. a lot more now. But
You had an interesting story about Ken Griffey Jr. and yesterday. You want to share that one?
There's so many stories. I forget which one I told you.
The one about now I'm forgetting. Now I'm blanking. Crap. Son of a gun.
I wanted to be Griffey.
Oh
Please,
no,
I wanted to be Griffey.
when you were playing the video games.
Oh yeah, that's a whole different story. I hate his contracts in video games. They're stupid high. They are. I mean, playing old games, like you'd have to trade half your team just to get Griffey because he was worth $250 million or whatever.
Yeah.
Manny had a lower contract in his prime, and it was just like this doesn't make sense. But I would still trade for him. So.
See, I didn't understand that conversation yesterday. Like, are you trying to say Manny was better than Griffey?
At the time, yeah. In the video game, Manny was better. And granted, he was the cover athlete of MVP 05, and if you're the cover athlete, you're the best player in the game.
Yeah.
It's just how they cheat the system or whatever.
Yeah.
Bo Jackson.
Yeah. But yeah, always trade for Griffey.
So for me, it was a little bit different. I'm a little bit older than you guys. I got to see Griffey, like in his prime, from his start to finish. And I remember I didn't really follow him until baseball. Like, baseball's always meant something to me. But then you start, like, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98. 98 for certain. I think it was 98. They came out with these bats and balls at Pizza Hut, right? So you go get a pizza, and you could buy the bat and the ball, and it was like a Nerf almost, right? But underneath it was plastic.
Mm-hmm.
So you could hit this thing a mile. Mm-hmm. So I remember distinctly it was a black bat with a yellow grip, and it was Ken Griffey Jr., and then the ball that they gave you was Randy Johnson. So it was a Mariners 1-2 combo. So I would spend my summers in central New York, in a small town called Verona, where my grandma lived, and we would basically be the Sandlot crew, but we would play with this ball and the bat because, let's just say that they weren't great. You know, the people that had it weren't fantastic, but we took this ball and the bat, and we beat the hell out of this ball and bat all summer, like throwing at, like when you have a ball like that, you can throw it at people and it hits them and they're out.
Yeah.
So that was, you throw a real baseball,
peg 'em.
it hurts a little bit. So we had this all summer, and I'll never forget that, you know, at that point it was cool. At every point in some kid's life, it's cool to do the stances. So I'm doing Ken Griffey Jr. from the right side, and it's ugly as hell. And then Albert Bell, who was my favorite player. And then you had like Jay Buhner, who was on there as well. Jeff Bagwell, which had an unbelievable stance and made you sore for 3 days after you did it because it was so wide. And then Craig Counsell. Does anybody remember the Craig Counsell stance? Like your hands are up real high like this. So we did that all summer, but the biggest one was Ken Griffey Jr. Like being able to imitate the kid and have the guy whose autograph. I just remember bragging because I got Ken Griffey Jr.'s autograph, which was caked on in screen print on the end of my bat. And now we sit here and we had the opportunity to meet Ken Griffey Sr. This past spring via the First Pitch Breakfast from YSU. And I have Ken Griffey's baseball sitting above my desk here at headquarters. And when he was telling that story, I saw clips of it. He told it exactly like he told it at the First Pitch Breakfast.
Yeah.
It was fascinating. And that's probably one of the better stories that I've heard, other than the one that he tells about, that Matt Underwood told about the Miss Cheesecake, which was one of Ron Podesta's favorites.
That was so funny.
So Ken Griffey Jr. making a huge impact on us, even if we're in technically different generations. I'm about 10 years older than you guys, and a little bit older than you be. So when you look at it, it's one of those scenarios where you can still appreciate from your angle who he was later in his career, whereas I saw him since day one, really. Yeah. So is there anybody like Ken Griffey Jr. out there right now that can change the game of baseball the way that he has? Because I say this because in the documentary, that just the piece that I saw, they talked about shoes. And we talked about shoes the other day. Shoes in baseball are very, very different. And from the standpoint of, it had never been done before Ken Griffey Jr. So Ken Griffey Jr., in my eyes, was the Michael Jordan of baseball. And I think there's a lot of people that'll go, wait. But I think there's way more similarities than there are differences for those two. Agree, disagree?
I agree.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Good story.
I mean,
Griffey had a marketing behind him. He was able to market himself. I mean, with the hat, he had shoes and his swing, like everybody wanted to be him.
Do you know the story behind the hat? Do you know the story
I
behind
probably
the hat?
would if you said it. Like I probably heard it. But
So we were at the night before the first pitch breakfast. They have a meet and greet with some of the media that cover YSU baseball. So we were blessed to be part of that. So somebody asked him about the hat, and the reason Ken Griffey Jr. wore his hat backwards was because he always took his dad's hat, and if he was batting in the cage, his hat would be so big that it would come down on his head. So what he realized was if he just turns the hat around, he can see just fine, and it can go back as far as it wants. So that's how the backwards hat started, and then it just turned into a thing. Ken Griffey Jr. started that by seeing the ball better and not having the brim in his eyes.
Yeah.
That is cool. Like, to me, that was, because I always thought it was just him just trying to buck the trend, right?
Yeah, that's
like,
what I thought.
I'm wearing the hat backwards, I'm cool, and dude, you're right. It's way more comfortable, and a lot of times you look a lot better with a backwards hat than you do a forwards hat. So the thought behind the backwards hat I thought was really, really neat, and that was great insight, and probably not, because that's a signature for Griffey now. You know what I mean? Even when he went into Cooperstown, he put the backwards hat on, which that's where it started to get me a little bit. You know, your heroes are growing up, and all of a sudden, like, I'm at the age now where it's crazy for me that my favorite football player of all time probably has 2 years, 3 years left ever, and I'll never see him play football again. Ben Roethlisberger. Like, I love him. He was my favorite quarterback ever. And then you start realizing, I'm getting old. Like, you start seeing these younger guys that are getting MVP, and then you start seeing that they're born in like 1990, 1995, 2000, and you start going, uh-oh. Like, they're born in a different century than I was. You know, I feel really old. I was born in 85, and a lot of people sit there and they go, you're young. And I feel young. I'm 35, but, like, my guys, the guys of my generation, my heroes are starting to get old, and they're starting to go in the Hall of Fame, and I'm like, no, wait a minute, no.
Slow down.
Yeah, pump the brakes a little bit. Like, he can still get out there and play. Can't. Like, Undertaker, a little bit, pulled on my heartstrings, because I'm sitting, there's no more Undertaker.
Yeah.
And it's not like they grow on trees, you know? So these guys of yesteryear that all my childhood memories are built around, that's a tough emotion to get over. And you know, it's one thing when you hang up the cleats, and which I'll give you guys a quick synopsis in a minute, but when you hang up the cleats and you know, your amateur status, like when you're done playing baseball, you're done playing basketball, you're done whatever, that's one thing. But then the next step is your profession. Like, you're closer, you start thinking about it, you're closer to the end of your career than you are to the beginning. And you start thinking, uh-oh, like, I better start executing here. I better start getting some stuff done. Start putting some money away, you know, because now you got a rest of the life you got to think about.
Yeah.
So I got a call yesterday. I told you guys I was retired from softball. And this is breaking news, as I haven't even told my wife about this. But my buddy calls in and he goes, hey, we're getting the band back together. We're going to play some games. You know, we got the all clear to play some softball games. And I thought, all right, man, put me on the roster. I'm in. And then I immediately, when we hung up, I thought, oh, crap, probably should have talked to the old lady on this one. This is probably going to bite me in the ass. So it's going to be interesting. I mean, I feel like I've got years left of playing softball, I feel like. But those first couple games really hurt. So
oh, yeah, they're going to hurt.
You get to
You'll
those,
be so sore.
Yep. You get to those moments where you're like, kind of like The Undertaker. Not worth it anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just get there. But I'm quickly doing my Michael Jordan, so I'm coming out of the retirement for the year. And I will
wear a different number.
Huh?
Wear a different number.
I'll never wear a different
I know.
number. I always wear 31. The dirty one wearing the 31. So softball is going to be back. We're excited. We'll have some of the guys on talking about Tristan naturally loves slow pitch softball.
Yeah.
He's hurting. So I don't want to say our thoughts and prayers are always with Tristan with whatever he goes through, but my man is sick. I don't know if he's just
Really?
sick or had some bad food or what, but he's down for the count today, and we're happy that Brendan Miller's here. Tell us, for those people who aren't familiar with who you are and what you do at YSN, just give the people a synopsis.
Well, I graduated from high school about a few years back. Went to South Range High School, and just actually finished up my 2 years at Eastern Gateway, going over to YSU now. Gonna start here in the fall, and then I started YSN here right after I graduated from high school. DJ asked me to come on and call South Range football games with him, and then I've been doing softball with Anthony, baseball. What else?
Everything.
Pretty much everything, yeah. I mean, I'm looking into going to communications or telecommunications for YSU. Not sure which one I want to do yet, but I got accepted in, so I know I'm going to be going to one of those, and can't wait to see that new place down, that new building that they have down there. It's
Down at the stadium.
Is it?
Really nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
I'm sure you two will have some classes
Oh, yeah.
together. You cross paths.
Right.
So it's funny to have you guys sitting here working for us, and then you go down to YSU and you'll cross paths there as well.
Most likely.
Getting the team together.
It depends if you're taking communications or telecommunications.
Yeah.
Telecommunications is more technology.
Yeah.
So you'll learn like all this stuff, like
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
mixers and everything, cameras, whatever, mics.
Yeah, communications more interpersonal stuff like that.
Yeah. So telecommunications is a lot of like behind the scenes stuff
Yeah.
where.
What's your track, Rich?
I'm telecommunications like in sports broadcasting. So it's kind of like
Is
intermixed
the sports
together.
broadcasting your minor? Or is
No,
it it's
my
together?
major. It's together, yeah.
Wow. I need to go back to
Telecommunications,
school.
sports broadcasting.
Yeah, that's what I was
Hey, honey, couple things. I want to go back to school, and I'm going to play softball. I'll see you later.
Yeah, so they have both the communication and telecommunications.
Yeah, that's the good thing about YSU is that when you look on their major list, under telecommunications and communications, they have tracks.
Yeah, so it's a sports broadcasting track.
Yeah, they have specific tracks you could go into, and like I was trying to go through which one I wanted to do and all that just to see if like there was something else that would like there was one that was like a business one or like a or a media one. Just trying something new because I'm doing this, and I'm enjoying this. Might want to try something else.
Sure.
But I'm still kind of thinking
It's a good thing to tell the boss. No, I'm kidding. Hey, I might want to try something else. Oh, but by the way, it's kind of like I'm throwing with Sarah. Hey, I'm going to go play softball, and I'm going to go back to school and get broadcasting. Like, what do you think would happen if I went back to school and said, hey, I'm here for sports broadcasting, and I have my own sports. Yeah, I have my own sports broadcasting company.
They're probably
I'd be divorced.
Company do you have?
You'd be divorced. The first problem.
I'd be divorced. I would probably live on campus. I basically it'd be like watching the movie Old School. If you guys have ever seen that one, that I'd probably be like Frank the Tank.
If you lived at the edge, I'd lose it. It'd be so funny.
It'd be great.
They're very nice. Very nice apartment.
I'd like to live on campus for like a week and just see what happens. Like, can I still survive the way I did back in my heyday, 13 years ago?
Have they done real quick? Have they done like the progress on the football field with the turf? Are they?
I saw the dirt.
Yeah.
They lifted everything up.
Put it in there.
Okay.
No, not yet.
We can get updates from Twitter, and
Yeah.
I can call my good friends over at the Sports Information Department. They take good care of us here at YSN. But I'm excited. I mean, new turf anytime is it's fun and exciting.
Yeah.
And you heard we got to get that number. I want to get a number for that because I'd like to replace our mat
I
out
know
front.
the guy that runs it.
Okay, well,
It's Mal.
there you go.
It's like $45, something like that, I think.
I'll give you $45 and you can get us a new mat. Have him paint the Y on it.
Sure.
So. Is something bothering you today? Like Richie, you've known Quinn his entire life.
I'm great.
There's something bothering him.
Nothing is bothering me, I promise.
We're getting closer to AAU day, so he's getting captain serious.
Flustered, that's all.
You're flustered? Why are you flustered?
AAU
What's on
stuff.
What's on your mind?
Nothing. I'm good.
Come on, Dr.
We're
Phil
good.
time.
We're
We'll throw it back to Breaking
No,
Batch.
I'm good. No, we don't need to do that. I'm good.
Quinn Pushkar, you are the
That's just scaring me now. I'm good.
you are the head coach of the Ohio Lakers girls basketball team. You enter a big tournament here this Saturday in Pittsburgh. What's bothering you at this point? What's on your mind?
Nothing.
Delilah.
That's actually what I thought of when you were doing all that for some reason.
Build the bridge of love between you and the Ohio Lakers basketball program.
We have a nice bridge. Don't worry.
Well, so what's wrong? What's the
Nothing.
problem?
I'm
You've been
great.
pissy
No,
for
I'm
2.5 hours.
I'm great.
You came out of the gates on fire.
I'm
I
great.
thought, you know what? Quinn is having a great
Yeah.
show today. And then
I was
immediately...
there. Then you went to WWE, and I got nothing to do with that.
No,
so
we went to
we're good.
baseball, and then...
I was all in on baseball.
Nah, you sold
I
it.
faked it till I made it on baseball.
I wouldn't say you made it.
Well, I made it far enough, I guess.
Oh, I love it. It's just so funny.
Jackass. Just a jackass. What's bothering you?
Nothing's bothering me. I'm
No,
great.
something's bothering
No,
you for sure.
I'm great.
Because you keep marching out to do your little... I don't know what you're doing over there.
Stuff. Work.
AAU stuff, yeah. Natural. So what are you working on?
All sorts of stuff.
What are you working on?
All sorts of stuff.
Inquiring minds want to know what Quinn
Who's
Pushkar
inquiring other than you?
Everybody.
Who?
Everybody.
Eric Bailey.
Bailey knows what I'm doing. We're doing the same stuff.
What are you doing?
Just practice plans.
What you doing?
Registration stuff. Getting ready for the tournament this weekend.
It sounds like a good time to be doing it during your on-air
Commercial
time.
breaks. We're on commercial breaks.
I see you on your phone an awful lot during the show.
Well, I was on
Should
it
we
for
talk about that?
WWE. I didn't have a clue. I was trying to research WWE. Nothing came up.
Does anybody believe that for 1 minute?
No.
Do you think I believe that?
No. I know you don't. You don't believe anything that comes out of my mouth, so it's okay.
Not normally.
Yeah. So why should that change?
Are you excited for your? I mean, let's talk about AAU for a minute, since you want to discuss it. So what's going on this weekend?
Just got our we got our first tournament on the girls' end, and yeah, excited to get started. There's my minute.
Now,
That wasn't a minute, by the way.
what teams are you looking
10
forward to
seconds.
in this tournament?
Thanks, Richie.
There's going to be a lot of good teams in this tournament this weekend.
I'm just
so
texting here. My other job.
Yeah, I'm not worried about it. There's a lot of good teams. Western PA Bruins is probably going to be in it. Team Huddle.
That's the old Jenna Ricardo team, is it not?
Yes, it is. It's Jenna's old team. Danny Volitich plays for them now.
Oh.
So we'll have that team playing. Team Huddle's going to be there.
Where are they from?
That's Rich Harlan's group. They're out of, I think, Worcester. A lot of good players go there, too. Trying to think who was on a couple of those teams. I believe the girl from Struthers, Elia, is on that team, I believe.
Emma?
I believe she's on one of those teams.
Is she a junior?
I believe she's going into senior year. I believe.
She is going to be a force on the Baird Brothers Big Dogs of the Valley. Like, she was a force last year. She gave Jenna a run for her money for the Player of the Year. And she's already working. I mean, she's showing pictures of her working out.
Mm-hmm.
My girl is gunning for it. And I'm a big-time Emma Elia backer. I'm ready to go. Like, Double E is where to be. That's going to be my slogan in 2021. I mean, when you play these local girls, does it make you nervous?
No, it does make me nervous. I'm excited. It's beyond that. It's the area. The area's getting good. So seeing the area girls play is fun. I mean, even on the guys' side, just seeing area players go out there and play well is I guess encouraging, but it's fun. So
got a little message from Eric Bailey.
Yeah.
Quinn's doing what he's always doing, looking busy but not really doing anything productive. He's also prepping for the beating he's about to take from SMAC and Cheyenne Sellers.
I do not like Smack.
Smack,
yes. Yeah, so Smack's going to be there. They're very.
Why
very
didn't you
good.
talk about Smack?
I don't like Smack, and I was getting there. They are one of the premier teams in Ohio. They're very good. They're very good. They're very well coached, and they're very good.
What does SMAC stand for?
Scoremore Athletic Club.
Oh,
I kind of like
so
that.
the guy that runs Ohio basketball runs SMAC. So, yeah.
Oh, all right. So, guys, we have rooting interest now. Do we root for Ohio Lakers or do we root for Smack?
Smack should win. They're very good.
That is terrible. No,
But
that is
we are
bad.
going-
You don't say that.
I'm not saying they're going to beat us. I'm saying Smack should win the tournament. But if we don't run into
So if they win the tournament, they got to beat you guys.
not necessarily. We could falter and fall apart. You never know. Poor coaching. Poor coaching. It's poor coaching. That's what it is. It comes down to me being a terrible coach, and that's what it comes down to. Eric knows that. That's why he's giving shots. But no, we're a good team. I'm excited, and as long as if I can keep my mouth shut, the girls will win.
You should probably take that strategy a hell of a lot more. Like you just, what the hell just happened there, Coach? We're gonna get to a timeout real quick.
Thankfully, 'cause
and
I gotta pee too.
remember when you said you should shut up? Like,
Yep.
Yeah, you should try that. Eat that
Just
donut.
saying.
We'll be back on the Power Hour. We're gonna talk more with Coach Quinn Pushkar after this.
They say American craftsmanship is making a comeback. Of course, at Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, it never went away.
People are floored by Baird Brothers' authentic hardwood floors. They stare at our stairs and adore our doors. Baird Brothers reflects 3 generations of family craftsmanship. Visit our huge in-stock selection in person or at BairdBrothers.com.
Baird Brothers, our family's heritage, your family's home.
Planning a project around your home or rental property? Trust the electrical service to the local experts with 62 years of serving the Mahoning Valley. Joe Dickey Electric is your local go-to source for responsive, reliable residential electrical work. From everyday maintenance and repairs to new installations, electrical upgrades, and safety inspections, no job is too big or too small. Call Joe Dickey Electric today, 800-549-3976, or visit DickeyElectric.com. That's DickeyElectric.com.
Myers Family Insurance knows the importance of a great team.
Our team continues to grow to help you with your Medicare and retirement needs.
The annual election period is here, so it's all hands on deck to make sure your plans still meet your needs for 2020.
Call us today.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. DJ Yoakley with you here on the YSN Power Hour, joined by a few of my friends. And, of course, joined by all of you out there. Eric Bailey chiming in once again, saying Smack also has local ties with Kyla Jameson, who will be interning for us, Quinn. So, Kyla's pretty daggone good.
She's good. She's a very good player.
So, what's the over? I mean, what's the point spread? Like, how good is Smack compared to where you're at? And I hate doing this to you because you're the coach.
Yeah.
I don't want to Pete Rose this for you.
I mean, I don't know how we're going to play yet because it's our first tournament.
Is it their first tournament too?
I do not know. I believe
some kind of scouting report you're doing over there for the 10 hours
get
stay
in the
over
scouting
here.
I'm not
report
scouting
there.
Smack.
Yeah, I'll look them up on Twitter.
It's
Why
not
aren't
going to
you-
happen.
you're not
Do they have a
why aren't you
Twitter?
Smack
scouting
Lady
Smack?
Ballers. They're a very good team. They're very well coached. I know the team.
Well, you
They're
said they're
very
going to
good players.
smack you around, so I mean that's
They
what you
smack
said.
everybody. That's just how Smack works.
Well, then why wouldn't you scout them? I feel like you're
I'm
doing
not
a
scouting
disservice
AAU.
to your team.
I'm not scouting. Nobody scouts AAU.
What do you mean nobody scouts?
Nobody
What do you
scouts
do all day? You're
I don't scout
scouting.
AAU.
What do you
No.
do?
We don't scout AAU.
Are you on their Twitter page?
No, I'm not.
Doubt.
Okay, I don't think they have one. I'm trying.
Smack, SMAC.
SMAC.
Smack
they got
Nation or
nothing.
something. It's like Smack Nation or something.
Oh, you
you
don't
know?
you don't scout them at all, but you
Oh.
just know
I
their
don't scout
Twitter
them.
handle.
Smack Nation Philly.
That ain't them. But yeah, no, they're a very good team. They're very well coached.
Are they the top dog at this tournament?
I would say so. I mean, I think we have a good shot at knocking them off if we play well and.
So why
do what
wouldn't
we
you
have
want to
do
scout
and-
them?
How do you scout a team that's never played yet? I mean, I know who's on the team, but that doesn't tell
Wouldn't
you
you
anything.
wouldn't you scout what their tendencies are like as individual players?
Not if they haven't played.
You know they went to high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit there and watch high school players for one.
That is
I'm not doing that.
Dude,
You got to be dedicated.
Listen, if who's your boss? Huck?
I mean, it's
Let's get
a
Huck
chain
on.
of command, yes.
Let's get Huck on the phone. Like Huck
Huck's
would do
not-
it.
No, he wouldn't.
Huck would do it.
I promise you, Huck will not scout an AAU team.
Huck would make you scout his AAU team,
Not gonna
so that
happen.
way you've got reports.
Wouldn't do it.
That's just how it. I'm just throwing it out there.
Wouldn't do it.
Just a thought. I
But-
mean, Eric Bailey would do it because he wants to get ahead.
Go, ask him. Ask him if you will. Eric, call in. I know you're watching. And if not, you're texting me, so call in. He does not.
I think
do
EB
that.
would. EB would probably do it because you don't. He knows that.
would.
Listen, Quinn's not going to do this, so I got to pick my game up.
We're on different levels anyway. I got the varsity girls. He's coaching a sophomore team, who's a very good team as well.
Well, next year you'll be coaching the sophomore team, and he'll be
That's-
coaching the
that's Eric.
varsity girls. It is Mr. Bailey. We will turn him on to the YSN hotline. EB, what's up, brother?
What's going on, DJ?
Just out of curiosity, are you out there scouting and trying to get 2 steps ahead of Quinn right now?
No.
Oh.
Dude, you really don't scout in AAU. If you're lucky, you get to watch a game or two, but especially someone like Smack or the Bruins or even the Huddle, like they have so much talent. They're really not running an offense anyways. They're just.
Is it just like street ball, or what is this?
I mean, it's organized chaos. These girls or these players are so good, they just know how to play basketball. So a lot of times they're beating you down the court, or it's just their players are better that they don't. Do they have offenses? Do they have set plays? Yes, but they're not necessarily running like a high school where you have a set motion offense or 15 set plays.
So what are you doing to get ready for this weekend? This is going to be a big weekend for not only you, but cousin of Purple over there, Prince Purple.
Come to practice on Wednesday, DJ. Me and Bailey practice together. Come to practice.
I'm busy with, running
throw
a company. What do you mean don't throw
stones at us?
I'm not throwing a stone at you. Bailey, I'm throwing a stone at you because you haven't done dick all
Bailey,
day.
Me and Bailey work together.
You literally have been drinking more Mountain Dew than you have words.
I'm getting my blog ready. This is all for blog material.
No, it's not.
This is number 13.
It's because you want to replace Wilford Brimley as the company man for diabetes.
That's fine.
That's what you're trying to do. Like, don't tell me it's about YSN when you're trying to say you're going to get a box.
Washington. 13.
He's got Washington. But EB, can you back me up on this? Like this cat tries to say he's selling out for the company.
He's the one that encourages my Mountain Dew drinking.
Well, yeah, the Mountain Dew drinking, I don't care. I mean, let him drink, let him get his kidney stones and diabetes. I can care less. I mean, that's just who he is. But I mean, if you're looking for content, he's probably not your guy.
Yeah, we're figuring that out. We're figuring that out. He didn't even bring cleats to a 40-yard dash, and he fell twice.
Well, that should have been your first sign right there.
Here's your sign.
You ask anyone else. If you would ask anyone else on YSN, they're at least bringing cleats or something that's, next time he might as well just ran in bowling shoes.
But Quinn way more than the majority of us. I feel like I know him like a brother now. It's kind of the same level you do. Is he always on the other side of the conversation? Like, if you say the sky is blue, he says the sky is green.
Oh, 100%. We could play on the same team in basketball, and we'll spend more time talking shit to each other than we will the other team.
What's the best one-liner you've heard from him that has at least made you level up your game?
I don't think he has one. His only one-liner that he has is, "Shut up, Bailey. I don't care."
There it is. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. He's the.
Or he might throw in a, "Look at that. You see that one? You see that one? What now?" I mean, there's the shit talking 101 that doesn't work with him. I mean, which is amazing because you take someone like Tweet or Tristan, who that dude, it just rolls off his tongue. Like, I don't even think he needs to think. It's just ingrained in his DNA. He can talk shit to anyone.
Agreed.
And then you have Quinn. I mean, it'd probably take him 3 weeks to think of some sort of comeback. Well,
he's got to scout it. He's got to scout the comeback and make sure that it's there. And he does it all here at YSN. So, whenever Huck wants to send me, I guess I could send Huck the bill for the invoice for Quinn and all the scouting that he's done for Lisbon and the Ohio Lakers because he does it right here from his penthouse suite over next to the building. EB, in all seriousness, I mean, are you excited for this weekend? It's got to be good to have basketball back.
Yeah, I mean, just getting things back in general. You know, chipping away. We have baseball, softball, basketball's getting there. You know, knock on wood, hopefully we'll get football in the fall. I know my girls are excited to get back into it. I know Quinn's girls are. You know, a lot of them, even through this all, if we didn't have practice, the majority of them, they've been working out. We've been getting in the gym. So this area has a lot of talent that I think gets slept on quite a bit. So, I mean, you get Kyla from Salem. You have the Struthers girl. Everyone knows about Danny, but don't forget about the Howards from McDonald. Don't forget some of these sophomores coming up that should have some breakout years. So this area is starting to come around with a lot of good talent. So I think we're all pretty excited to see what they can do.
Yeah, let's talk about your program right now. I mean, you're the one that called into the show, so let's promote your girls. Talk to me about who you're representing and some of the players to look out for here this summer.
My girls are pretty spread out. Probably one that you'll see coming up this year for our area will be Kylie Wilson from Jackson Milton. She's a nice little shooter. She's grown a little bit. Courtney Havoc, we don't really go, this area doesn't go up to Grand Valley too much, but she's up that way. She's not playing this summer, but kind of saw her a couple of times last year. Camille Zettner from Columbiana. Zara Cunningham, she's over in Wyndham, and then I have a couple girls down towards Edison. So, I mean, I'm pretty spread out compared to Quinn's team, but, they had a pretty solid sophomore year, so I think they're ready to hit the ground going in their junior season.
What is the toughest part of recruiting, and what is the most rewarding part of recruiting when it's all said and done for you?
I mean, the toughest part is you have so many different organizations out there. A lot of times they promise you the world. I'd say for me, the most rewarding is my group's been together since about sixth grade, and a lot of them have always come back. So they have a pretty tight bond as far as friendships. So that part's pretty cool to see. And even Quinn's group, because his group, my group, they've gotten pretty tight since we practiced a lot together. So just seeing them all push each other, or I think even last year in the regional game, we had at least probably 9 or 10 players go just to watch Molly and Maddie Howard. So just watching those friendships blossom outside of basketball, that's those are the things that are probably going to take them further in life than just the game of basketball. So that's probably the most rewarding.
When you look at the entire body of work, what percentage of what you do takes up most of your time? Like, is it the recruiting? Is it the well, it's obviously not not watching tape or scouting. What is the biggest part of the job you do, and is it rewarding in your eyes, and does it help you be a better coach?
I mean, for me personally, it's probably more the training side of things, because those are a lot of the unseen hours. I don't promote to tell people I'm a trainer or anything like that, but I get a lot of these girls in and do individual workouts. That's probably the most time consuming, but recruiting, we're always going to have players coming in. It's just building some of the pieces around that. So, that's an easy part when it's with the older girls, because some girls just want to play with each other. It's probably tougher on the younger generation or the younger crowd to say. But I'd say probably just the workouts and practice and honestly the tournaments in general, just driving to, Buffalo or Cleveland, and just we lose our whole weekend for the better part of 6-7 months just for all this.
So let me ask you this. If there's a young player that's on the fence between doing AAU and not doing AAU to better their game, what advice would you give them, and how would they go about getting started in AAU?
If they're on the fence, My first question would just be, well, why? What are you thinking? Is it because you don't love the game, or is it just for fun? So just kind of picking from that. I'm not one to really. I don't push too many people. Generally, if they're on the fence, the only thing I'm going to say is, hey, come to a couple practices, see how you like it, and a lot of times that takes care of itself, because once they get working and they get in with our girls and they kind of get that friendship back or they get that bond back, it really does take care of itself. So that's not a problem. To get girls interested in it, it all just boils down, hey, come get in the gym, and once they start playing, it really just it handles itself from there on out.
And the final question for you, EB, is you've been a huge advocate for Quinn's Mountain Dew problem. Now we're on to this Mountain Dew challenge, which we're trying to get him all 50 states on the bottles, so that way he can get his $100 from Mountain Dew, which basically breaks down to $10.50 after it's all said and done. And that's without taxes, of course. So then he's down to $7 because he's got to pay Uncle Sam. Do you believe in Quinn? Do you believe that he can pull this off? Like, this is a Tyson versus I don't know. This is like a dream matchup, a fantasy matchup.
I'm at 13 states, and I started Saturday.
So is there like a certain amount of time he has to do this in?
Yeah, what's the day?
By the time we get back from Roses, Bailey, it'll be done.
Oh, dude, that's easy. He would accomplish that, honestly, July 5th through July 12th.
So here's the thing, EB, though. It's not just drinking 50 Mountain Dews. It's you have to select the state and drink it along with it. So he's got 13 different states that are represented. At some point, and Anthony Hartwig did the research. Hats off to him, because this is the most ridiculous, dumb research I think we could ever send anybody on. But there's like 4 states, Iowa, Alaska, Hawaii, and Minnesota that are like premier. So we're trying to help him through YSN. Naturally, there's something in it for us, so we're going to try to help him. But do you believe in this quest? This is like Lord of the Rings stuff.
So I mean, if you break it down like Anthony did with probability, then obviously, 1, it's not healthy. 2, it's impractical. But I'm just thinking, since he's not going to be buying from the same places over and over again, like he'll have a chance at Pittsburgh to pick up a case or whatever this weekend. The weekend after that, I'm sure we'll have to take 17 pit stops going down to Nashville because he's drank 17 Mountain Dews before we made it to Cincinnati, so he can pick some up there or whatnot. So, I mean, he can at least spread it out regionally from where he's picking it up to increase those chances. Now, is it realistic that he does it? And likely, yes. Do I think he really will, since you have those premium states, like you said? Probably not. But, I mean, if I have to order a case of Mountain Dew from my buddy in Hawaii because he's, like, short of Hawaii, and that gives him the best chance, then hell, dude, I'll just do it just so he can get his $7 and, pay his medical bills for his kidney stones and dialysis and everything else.
So you're saying there's a chance?
There's a chance.
Awesome. EB, it's always a pleasure. Don't be a stranger to the show. We love your interaction on the chat. Thanks for all you do, and good luck this weekend, my brother.
Definitely. Thanks. Keep it up, fellas.
That is Eric Bailey. The legend is alive and well. Quinn, when you guys drive down there, is it you that drives or is it EB?
We split. As long as we get there. We don't really care how. As long as we get there.
Do you guys rent a car, or what do you do?
No, we drive our own. We'll drive our own.
So what do you drive, the Volvo or the Mustang? You don't drive the Mustang.
Like for Nashville, we'll probably end up taking his car.
Yeah.
It gets better gas mileage, obviously.
No.
Yeah, contrary to belief. But on these area ones, it doesn't really matter.
So you drink 17 Mountain Dews between here and Cincinnati, and how many bathroom?
See, he's underselling it. Like, I'm used to taking road trips because of YSU football.
Sure.
We would take road trips. I know when to drink, what I need to drink, and all that.
Do you have a pee jug in the back?
I mean, I have trained myself basically to, when we stop for gas is when I'll go. Like, that's it.
So do you have to hold it in sometimes?
No. I'm good. Always.
I've seen you down liquid. Like, it is, like, it's almost like you're trying to replace blood.
No, I'll be good to go. We'll stop whenever we need gas.
Incredible. Incredible stuff. A lot of incredible stuff here on the YSN Power Hour today, boys. We have one more round. It is the G. Burbick Farms What's Your Beef? B, to get you up on it. It is something that bothers you. What is your beef? And it is brought to you by G. Burbick Farms. Visit them on the web at gburbickfarms.com. Their farm to your freezer, the freshest beef you will have. And it is unbelievable. Burgers, dogs, chicken, and there, of course, you can't forget the steak. So make sure you get that. gburbickfarms.com. Longtime supporter Greg Burbick. What's your beef, B?
Right now, it's got to be the hockey situation in the NHL. I'm a big hockey fan, so I desperately need it back in my life right now. And the fact that obviously, you got for hockey, you got to be in enough shape to get back into shape for you got to have some time. But the fact that it's taken so long for them to get back on television for me to watch, it's tough to handle. But I hope that they can get through it because I want to see hockey come out no matter what it is. But the fact that I haven't been able to watch hockey is my beef.
Love it.
I'm with him, but baseball. The Players Association denying the 60-game proposal, and now, what is it, 3 o'clock? So 2 hours they have to decide whether they want to start spring training or not, and I don't think it's going to happen. So that's my beef today is, of course, always something to do with baseball.
Not the weather today?
Not the weather today.
Because it's going to...
Could be the weather yesterday.
Oh, by the way, the South Range game is canceled for tonight, so we will not have it on YSN because it's not happening. We'll keep you up to date on B-League Baseball tonight. Of course, and you can check out our social media pages to make sure that you're up to date. Ron Potesta has the game at 6 and 8:30 tonight, weather pending. Quincy, what is your beef?
Basically, not playing this past weekend. Kind of my decision. Running the tournament and all that stuff, I was there, and I did not enjoy not being able to play or coach or anything like that. So, kind of my own decision not to do so.
Surprised it wasn't something that had to do with you today.
So, well, no, he has a beef with me every day. Trust me, I hear it every day after
underlying
this.
beef. It's always there.
Yeah, he's got an evergreen beef with me. That's the guarantee of Sheepburg Farms. What's your beef? As Quinn has a beef with me in some capacity. Okay, so that brings it to me, and my beef is this. And not to get political or get on a rant, but I've got no problem with people taking knees and doing what they need to do from their standpoint. If you believe in it, go for it. Where I draw the line is burning flags. I see where the southern flag, so to speak, the stars and the bars being banned, and I'm okay with that because there was a 5-year period to which, you know what, they lost the war. They probably lose their flag too. There's tradition, and you talk about heritage versus hate all you want. Listen, I get it, but when you start burning Old Glory, when you start really turning the page and making it about our flag, because we've had the conversation, just as we did with COVID, that it's about flattening the curve and not finding a cure. Now it's turning into, it's not about the flag, it's about the cause, to you're burning the American flag. I'm with our president on this, and it doesn't matter what president would be. If you're burning the flag that others are fighting to keep intact, the 50 stars and the 13 bars, Old Glory, the one that we fly so proudly, I've got a problem with that. This is America. You have a freedom of speech, but when you start putting it on the backs of others and people who are defending this country, that defend this flag, that's where I have a problem. And again, not to be political, but I don't care if you stand or you kneel for the national anthem based on your beliefs. I will always stand because it is about the flag to me. It is about the people that defend our honor, that make this beautiful country great, no matter how divided it may be. So if you're going to knee, that's fine. That is your prerogative. If you burn the flag, you should be put in jail because that is our flag. If you don't like this country the way it is, there's plenty more that you can head out to. So enjoy that. That's my G. Burbick Farms. What's your beef? Brought to you by G. Burbick Farms. let the flag fly, boys. It's our flag. I'm proud of it. It's why our colors are red, white, and blue. This is a beautiful country because you get to voice your opinion as we just did here on the Power Hour. Thanks for tuning in. That's going to do it for us today. Tune in tonight. Ron Potesta, 6 o'clock, 8:30, the Astro Falcons and Nightline, and then the Astro Falcons and Roth Brothers right here on YSN. And, of course, Running Point tomorrow at noon. That's it. We'll see you later.
Hey, my Ohio friends, it's Mike Ditka, and I know great talent and heart when I see it. I can tell you from firsthand experience, there are average real estate agents, then there are true champions. Kelly Warren is one of those champions, and you have her right there in your own backyard. Kelly outmarkets and outsells every agent in the Mahoning Valley. If Kelly can't sell your home at a price and deadline you agree to, Kelly will buy it. Get your home sold. Call Kelly Warren today at 717-2689 or go online to kellysoda.com and start packing.
You can feel it. Baird Brothers' traditional craftsmanship. You can see it. Baird Brothers' timeless style. And you can afford it. And find everything at bairdbrothers.com. Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods is real hardwood, yet beautifully affordable. Floors, moldings, interior doors, bar rails, and stair parts. All within your means and without a care. Start at bairdbrothers.com. You have made it. Your home.
Teams work hard and give it all they've got. Well, so does ours, because 21 Sports and YSN give you extra effort when covering local sports. 21 Sports and YSN, winning coverage of our Valley's teams.